bougie, go holler the bitch. Stopping in, we been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been the heavyweight. Stopping in, we been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been the heavyweight.
Gone for a minute, but they back again. What's going on, y'all? Episode 55 of the Heavyweight Bros. It is Friday, July 8th. I am your host, as usual, the 5XL Assassin, the Diabolical Diabetic, your boy, the Big Nasty. To my right is my co-host. Co-host? I was killing it for a second.
Go ahead. You said
the High Yellow Hitman, the freaking Deacon, Coach Buck.
Hey.
My little dumpling. Uncle Raisin. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm leaving.
Never come back again.
Listen, man, it's been a good start to the summer, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. Taking the summer off, just chilling, kicking it, man. It's been alright. About to start doing a little bit of vacation in here. I know you just got back, so but kind of missed it a little bit.
Kind
a lot of it.
Kind of. You a whole liar.
Yeah, right. I was like, when you coming back, fam? You ain't back yet? You ain't on the plane yet? But no,
he didn't even ask me about the rent. He was asking me when I was coming back to Florida. That's how you know.
Word. But nah, listen, that's it was well needed rest. Mm-hmm. So just like now I can calculate out the rest of these days of the summer and how they're gonna be useful and what happens in those days. But just to be able to just like, I actually slept in one day.
Whoa.
Yeah, because remember I told you before, my body was just like, I'm getting up.
Yeah.
The other day I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna reactively hop out of the bed. I'm gonna chill, and I chill.
What you gotta do is you gotta go and take that morning pee. And then go back to sleep, and it'll get you like a good 2.5 to 3 hours out of that.
That's what it is?
Yeah, tell you.
If my feet hit them floor, it's over.
The flip-flops or the slippers are supposed to be right there, so when your feet come down, they touch that automatically.
Yeah, for some reason.
And you don't open your eyes wide enough to lose the sleep, bro.
For some reason, I symmetrically always put my flops right by the bed, and whenever I go to get them...
One of them joints is on the other side of the bed.
Right.
That makes your wife waking up in the middle of the night tap dancing.
Just kicking them over there.
Hitting the heel toe.
Right. Try to put them back in the right position, and I go and roll over on the pillows like...
That's exactly what it is.
I'm about to call her on that one. That's crazy. But nah, man, I'm good, man. What about you?
I'm exhausted, bro. Like I feel like things have been nonstop since school ended. Like I know it's been a minute since we've been here, but I feel like even just coming here in general was like it's like a mission. Like everything just seems like it's a mission for some reason. Like I don't know what's going on, but. I mean, like, I'm excited to be back, too. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, every time, I'm like, that's gotta go on the pod. That's gotta go on the pod. Like, you're doing that all the time. Like, I gotta watch this thing because it's gotta go on the pod.
Yeah, this is what I was doing. You know how you could draft a text to someone?
Yeah.
I literally had this long drafted text to you that I was like, I'm never gonna hit send. I'm just gonna keep adding stuff to it. When you text me, I'm like, dang, I gotta erase all of it. I gotta cut this so I have it in my clipboard and then text you and then put it back up there. Yeah, man, it was crazy. It was crazy. Timestamps. Yeah, but be mindful. Timestamps.
It's going to be a long one today. I'm going to let you know because this joint is packed.
Timestamps.
So let's get right into it. Let's
all right. So no diggity, no doubt. Mm-hmm. All right. So we'll start off with. I guess we can start off with Beyonce. I guess she dropped the album.
She did not drop the album.
Okay.
She just dropped the title of her album. It's gonna be called Renaissance.
Oh, okay. I did not know about this.
It's gonna drop on July 29th.
Okay.
So she
like
announced
3 weeks.
She announced the album before Drake dropped his album. Mm-hmm. But then like she didn't give it a title, and then like now we got the title to it, and so we're like 2 weeks out from it now.
I think that was kind of like a warning shot, like, yo, Drake, I'm dropping on the 29th. You might want to do something. He's like, you know what, Beyonce, I'm just going to
100%.
I'm going to abruptly drop mines right now.
And so, you notice that like her lead single sounds a lot like Drake's album. Yeah, so like Drake is like, hey.
I want to kill you, little homie. So go ahead and get your rocks off. Because this 29th end of the month belong to me.
I'm not going to lie, man. Her single hasn't done it for me yet. The Break My Soul joint.
Doesn't matter. When you have a hive of fans.
They're relentless too, bro.
Yes,
like they're bad. Like they're like They're the type that they'll find out like where you work and like get you fired, like just because like
They don't
you
have
said
to find
Beyonce's
out where
not
you
all
work.
that
There's
good.
somebody from the Beehive already at your job. They're instituted everywhere around the world, like the Secret Service. It's like, who said what? I know who that person is.
I had beef with some girl at my job at one point in time because I didn't know that she was part of the Hive, and I was just like, Beyonce ain't made a good album since 4, and she was just sitting there, she was just like just looking at me like I was dirty.
Oh man, she's like, you better not never put no lunch in the fridge.
I didn't ask her nothing if she ever wanted lunch either because I didn't want her to accidentally poison my joint. So.
She was like, no, but I'm thirsty. I'll take some lemonade.
Like,
little subtle hits.
I was like, yeah, you can have your adultery if you want. What else we got on the docket?
Chris Breezy, numbers are not doing what they were supposed to be doing or expected to do.
Did you listen to that album?
I did not.
I listened to it. Like,
I heard his album's not bad though.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. It's like there's maybe like 4 songs on it that are like really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lead single off it is "Warm Embrace,"
okay,
which takes the hook from the guy. It's a guy song. So when I wrap you in my warm embrace, visions of your body, like let's chill.
Oh, okay.
And it's like what's called, and it's like, but it's like one of the parts from in there.
Let's settle down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, but it's like it's cool. I think it's just what you call it. He makes Chris Brown music. So like that's the thing is like it's like all these songs are just songs I feel like Chris Brown's already made.
So for me, and I've been looking at this, I feel like there's a trend happening, and it's just a lot of people's numbers are low. Yeah. And they're expecting all these super high, puffed up numbers, and nobody's getting there. So I think I don't want to say you have to lower the expectation, but you kind of have to see where the numbers are balancing out at to get a realistic view on like if this album is really doing good and if people are listening to it. Because there's so many ways to pirate stuff or listen to music without purchasing or without people getting credit for the streaming, that there may still be a lot of people listening to this music, but it's just not showing up on the numbers. That's when people begin to miss the old school way of just going to the store and buying a record. Because there's so much electronic stuff going on, like you don't really know how many people are really playing your music.
I have thoughts.
Okay.
I have a thought, I should say. So, and I was going to wait until we talked about the Brent Faiyaz album because that's another album that wound up coming out.
Okay.
Because it's like, I believe
I still don't know who this guy is. I'm sorry.
And the thing is like... I
felt like I promised to find out who he was and I still did not.
Let me just talk about the Brent Faiyaz album real quick and then like I'll wrap it back around. How about that?
Okay. So
like, first and foremost, I did listen to the Chris Brown album. I thought it was really solid. I didn't think it was amazing. Mm-hmm. Like he is like I said, he makes a lot of like just like these sound like a bunch of Chris Brown songs I already heard, just different versions of the same type of song.
Okay.
But they're not bad songs. It's just like it's good music. It's great. Like it's good all the way through, but like it doesn't move the needle like in certain areas.
Yeah, I'll see this movie twice.
He has a feature with LMA. I feel like LMA has like the best verse on like the whole thing. And I was like, you R&B singers need to stop inviting LMA to be on your track. So I feel like she burns you guys every time. Who I also must say is dating Jason Tatum right now.
Really?
Yeah, Jason Tatum and LMA. And I can't remember, but there's another R&B singer who's dating Jalen Brown. So then you got Jalen Brown dating the R&B singer. Jason Tatum's dating LMA. Ime Udoka is dating Nia Long. The Celtics, they might have lost the championship, but them brothers is winning at life right now. Like, I can't remember who Jalen Brown's dating is killing me. But, what you call it? Chris Brown, super solid album. There's a lot of stuff that's in my rotation now. Okay. I think it's probably one of the 2 to 3 best R&B albums I've heard this year. So, like, it's definitely up there. Brent Faiyaz album just dropped last night. So, like, I've only been able to go through it twice this morning before we, whatchamacallit, able to
How many tracks is it?
22, I want to say, something like that. Or, no, I take that back.
Hey, y'all might want to chill on that, too, man, because y'all might be drowning out too much music for people, and that may be what's killing your streams, too. Like, people ain't trying to get through 20-something songs. I remember you was bringing that up before.
When it's 22 songs of fire, though, on my vacation, I went through the whole Get Rich or Die Trying Again. That's like 18 songs, and I barely skipped any of them joints.
Fair.
It's like when it's fire, people are going to sit there and listen to it. Like, you know what I mean? Brent Faiyaz. I felt like a lot of these songs that are on here, like the bigger songs that are on here, them songs have been out for like 5-6 months. I was like, this song is on this album? Like I did that like at least 4 times.
Got you.
And stuff like that. I think it's also smooth all the way through, but I don't think it moves the needle. And that's like when I said earlier this year when I think everybody's having a mid off. I still feel like kind of the same way, where it's just like we're content with being like in this box, and we're just making vibe music.
A mid off.
Yeah, it's just like it's good. There's definitely a couple songs I'm gonna add to my rotation like as well.
It's the triple T's, man. It's TikTok tracks.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Drake's is the only one that's like, whatchamacallit, like they're more upbeat. Because that's the thing, is like everybody stays in like this vibe of like, so like, I miss the days when songs were like almost like movies or anything like that, where it was like you have your intro, then it's like you take it here, then the second verse like you go up a notch, then you hit the climax, then you get the bridge, then you get the, you know what I'm saying? Yep. They don't really do that. They just keep it like at this same level, and it's like everybody wants to make vibe music.
It's the buffet, and you don't really want to know what genre of food you want to eat. Everything looks good, so you're just throwing it all on the plate. Then you sit down and you be like, what is on my plate?
Like he's like, the thing is like he's got like a lot of features on here. Like he's got Tyler the Creator, he's got Drake, he's got like people on the
Brent Faiyaz?
Brent Faiyaz. Yeah, like they're like there's a lot of people that are on here, and it's like their verses are like the best parts. And like that's what's killing me is like when you have guest verses on your album, usually you're supposed to have better verses than your guests. But like people have been letting these guests blow them out the water.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it's kind of crazy.
Hey,
but like my thoughts on the streaming numbers, like in general, is I say we, but it's like, and Beyonce kind of started this trend, and I feel like she's now trying to flip it, where it's like everybody wants to drop these surprise albums. Everybody wants to drop like these art projects. Everybody wants to drop these really like confined like think pieces. So no one's putting out like singles like they used to anymore. Like, because before, like we'd be like, oh, this album's gonna be coming out in like a month. Here's 2 songs to hold you over. Here's Wanksta and In the Club. And then when the album comes out, you get Many Men and you get like all this other stuff or whatever. So like you don't even know the vibe of the album that you're getting into. And I think that was the big thing with the Drake album. If I would have known that this is what Drake's album was gonna sound like before it came out, I wouldn't have been so like, what the hell is this type of deal?
Right.
And then, but it's like everybody.
I said that though.
Yeah.
It just wasn't what I was. This not the Drake I was expecting. Not that I had an anticipation, but just like. The summertime. This is not what I thought I was about to get. So.
Yeah, same thing with Kendrick Lamar's album. Like if I would have known that this is what Kendrick's album was going to sound like, it was like my initial reaction would have been a little bit different. But it's like you don't know that, and you go into it, it's like, oh, this is a bit different than what I was expecting, and it's like it takes you a minute to adjust to it.
Can I put you on the spot?
Put me on the spot.
Drake, Chris Brown, Brent Faiyaz. Which order?
Ooh, I think I might be in that. No, I'm gonna put Chris Brown above Drake's.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Chris Brown, Drake, Brent Faiyaz.
Okay.
But I will say that like
off the cuff with it.
I think there's a lot more highs on Drake's album.
Okay.
Like you know what I mean? And I think that also these don't sound like other Drake songs. Like Chris Brown, it's like it was a very safe album for Chris Brown.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
That's like the best way to put it. It was very safe. It's like all right,
gave you something new.
Yeah,
something to itch your ear.
And like you know. And we were gonna ease into this too. It's like he was just on Drink Champs, and like Nori asked him, they were like, "Are you like the new Michael Jackson?" Stuff like that. And it's like this is the thing about Michael Jackson where people don't get is like there's no like Michael Jackson songs don't sound the same. Billie Jean doesn't sound like Thriller. Thriller doesn't sound like Beat It. Beat It doesn't sound like Remember the Time. Like these things are like he's pushing the envelope every time, and it's like you're playing it safe, and that's the difference.
Just to digress a little bit. Have you seen this video that's been floating around of like Michael Jackson G-checking Jermaine on the stage?
Yeah.
I've never seen this video before. I just saw it for the first time yesterday. I was just like, and the caption was like, "Oh, y'all said Mike wasn't a thug." It's like, yo, that's crazy. Yeah, like the way he did it was dirty. If you ain't seen the video, check it out. But yeah,
there's been a lot of artists that have come and said that, like, yo, y'all thought Michael Jackson was one way. I'm telling you, that brother was a whole different way.
Right.
T-Pain was like the first one on that.
Right. So. There's a person who could have released the album of some songs that they already have released, and I think it would have killed all 3 of these albums. Because for some reason, Usher Raymond decided to show up to Tiny Desk and burn the desk down, bro, and burn the desk down. It got to one point where he was like,
cheesing, boy, watching that thing.
For me, the gem part was like he had the crowd in such a groove, and it's not even usually a big crowd because it's the first time I've seen them.
Well, I was about to say they never show.
They never show him, and he had them show it, and I've never seen that happen before. But it's like it looked like maybe it's about like 50 people there, but it's like at one point he's like, it's 7:00. What you think I'm doing?
And that lady did that, and your dry top cruising the streets.
He was like, whoa, she was ready for that.
All right,
it almost seemed like it was scripted. But yeah, man, that I give shots out to him because the Tiny Desk stuff is live entertainment. It's like almost if you go out to dinner and there's a live band and they are singing, for his vocals to be in such control and for him to be like so smooth and so comfortable and have such command of the crowd that was there.
I think song choice mattered. Also,
song choice definitely mattered
because he only did 5 songs, maybe 6.
His homies in the back sang a little bit.
Oh my God, Vito and I can't remember Eric Bellinger, who are also 2 pretty solid R&B artists.
Yep.
I was very surprised when I saw. I was like, "Yo, you got Eric Bellinger," and he was like Vito, and I was like, "That's what Vito looks like." But it's like they're great R&B artists, and for them to even want to do that, and for Usher is a performer. Like he does what you're supposed to do. Let me introduce the band. This is this person. This is this person. Give everybody like their time to shine a little bit.
Right.
And then it's like he didn't overexert himself. Like at no point in time, everything was smooth.
And the reason I bring that up before we transition into our last topic is people keep calling this man out for a versus. I don't know if anybody really wants that smoke.
There's only one name out there, and he said it on the Drink Champs as well.
Chris Brown?
Is C Breezy. Because like Usher's other contemporaries were always the females. It is the Beyoncés and stuff like that.
Who do you pick?
All right. So this is. I was trying to set this up.
All right, listen. This is more entertaining to me than the other verses we're about to talk about. So let's get that out the way. And then
go ahead.
All right. So Mario bodied Omarion.
It was bad, bro.
I don't know what happened.
Did you watch the pre verses?
Yes. To be honest with you, everybody was entertaining. Except for the gesture that was walking around on the stage. Like Ray J was tripping. I guess he said he blames it on the Casamigos or something like that. It's like,
what wish?
Yo, fam, he shouldn't even went for it. He was like, oh, my bad. I was holding my son. What is the son? Your son wasn't holding you, bro. Like, fam, you sounded crazy. But, old boy jumped on the piano. He had his little moment. What's his name? Pretty Ricky? Not
Pleasure P.
Pleasure P.
So it was Ray J and Bobby Valentino versus Pleasure P and Sammy.
Right. Okay. So Bobby Valentino hopped on the piano. Pleasure P was controlling the stage.
Killed it.
Controlling the stage. He made sure that
he probably has the least amount of hits of everybody on there, and like he was like the best person.
Super confident. Yeah. So I feel like everybody entertained the crowd except for the jester. Like Ray J was wilding. I did see a clip that Brandy was like, I just wish Ray J had listened to me before going into the verses. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either.
But it's just like, yeah, you should have listened to Brandy. I think the most disrespectful thing that came out of that verses, because they done said some disrespectful stuff. But
these R&B singers were wild disrespectful to each other. Especially it was Jadakiss Dipset levels.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yo, when Pleasure P is his name?
Yeah.
But that man was like, all right, we out of here. Thank you to so-and-so. Thank you to so-and-so. Appreciated Brandy's brother. I was like, that him downstairs is crazy.
When Sammy and Pleasure P started to hit the one wish note for him, and he started to get mad. I was like, that's how you really, really son somebody.
Like, yo, you keep singing over my stuff, man. You keep asking for this one wish. Then D-Ray comes in and was like, and this was Ray J's one wish. I was like, oh, man, just leave. But yeah, I don't know what happened with Omarion, man.
That's the thing is like Omarion's not a singer like that though. He never has been.
But like there are stuff that you can like. All right, so if it's like auto tunes or if you sing along with the song, like all that stuff can be adjusted to, so that you can still put on a good performance. I felt like he was more concerned with the dancing and calling Mario fat and telling him he had Beijing on his fro. I was like, all that is hilarious, fam. But he's still smoking you right now.
Smoking. And like to the point where he's like, stop.
Yes.
Like on the mic. Like,
when that man said, hey, Tank, Hey, Tank, don't do it, Tank. Tank, don't do it. And Tank was like, yeah, I could say something, but this ain't my verses. He was like, you're right. This ain't your verses. And they came with another track. I was like, yo, fam, he is flaming this man. He was flaming. And then the couple that Mario was trying to save to be like these are the ones I'm definitely going to win with. Mario was like, nah, I saved a couple as well, too,
come
fam.
on, man.
Like,
You didn't think I had a couple in the chamber?
That. And it's like, you know, for me, it's like that crowd control is major. And like at one point, Mario didn't have to sing because
they were singing all his songs.
were singing all the songs, and I was just like, "Yo, I didn't even know this many words to none of this man's music, but y'all seem to know all of his music, and it looked bad."
I knew once the lineup came out that Mario was going to win. I've always been like a pretty big Mario supporter.
Oh, you picked Mario?
Yeah.
Everybody was saying he was about to get dog walked.
But
I was
that's
just like, I gotta see it. To
me, that's the revisionist history. Is people really don't remember,
right?
And it's like you only remember certain parts of it, like bump bump bump, and like all that stuff is like fine. But I was like, I don't think you remember like the Just the Friends, the Crying Out for Me.
Yeah,
like these were big hits and stuff like that.
And I'm not even gonna bring up the watermelon because we already know that's crazy, and everybody's already talking about that. Nobody's not talking about the fact that this man tried to recreate "You Got Served" on the stage.
Yeah,
I was like, does this count as a track? I'm thinking he gonna walk through the middle, do a dance move, and sing a song. Nah, there was literally just a dance battle that just happened in the middle of the verses. Yeah. And when it was done, he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, what? Yeah, what?
How weird was it when Mario brought B2K out? It was
that was hilarious. When dude was standing there, he was like, let me fix your finger right quick. The dude fixed his face and he smiled at him. I was like, then they stood on his side. I was like, man, he did the "You Got Served" on the "You Got Served" guy. Like, he took your homies like, this happened to you twice.
I was like, this is so ghetto.
You show up for the battle and your homie walks to the other side. He knows all your moves. Yo, for him to come out the gate with that, I was like, yo, this is wild disrespectful. Because I felt like he wasn't going to do it at first. And then Mario started talking all crazy. He's like, oh, that's the type of energy we on? Don't worry. I got something for you. I think he was going to do that later on. He was like, you know what? I'm just going to get out the way now. Them brothers came out in all sequence white. It's like Usher sliding across the stage. I'm like, fam, y'all like 34 right now. Cut it out. Just walk out.
Hey, I went to the Millennium Tour. Them brothers still got it. That's all I got to say.
Heard that tour was trash.
The second tour was, they did two of them.
Oh, okay.
They did the second time around, and the second one was that. But the first one was great.
Okay.
But like, I don't think people realize that there's levels to this, and
Mario knows because he said it a few times.
People are constantly either over or underestimating people's levels.
Yes,
and it's like because people always remember the peak, they don't remember the entirety of the career and stuff like that. And it's like, yes, at his peak, Omarion was bigger, but it's like at that peak he only had 3 or 4 songs like at that time. But like Mario's been around for a while. He's got 10 to 12 hits that like really, really go. Yeah. It's like that. He's written a bunch of stuff for like other people or whatever. Yeah. And speaking of tears,
they made a phrase of it. He said he got Jada kissed.
That's been a thing. Like, yo,
that's the thing now. That's the phrase now. You got
jaded. I was just talking about this with my brother because he just rewatched it the other day. He was just like, yo, the energy is so crazy in there. And I was trying to explain to somebody.
Oh, the Dipset Locks joint?
Yeah.
I've watched that joint 4 times.
No, it's insane. And it's like, I feel like basketball was always used as the metaphor for being in the zone, where it's just like, oh, when you're in the zone, like you can't miss.
Right.
When the Jadakiss thing was, when the Locks versus Dipset Versus came out, I was like, I don't think people realize that is really what it's like to be in the zone. And it's like Styles P and Sheik Luke, they felt it like early on. They were like, yo, we need to like back up a little bit and stuff like that. And like Dipset kept poking them. And they just didn't realize that this man is on like another planet right now. And it's like he was on there from Jump Street. And it's like that to me is in the zone where it's like every single thing that I do is just like, it's disgusting. And it's just like, I'm so on fire that like I can't miss even if I try to right now. And it's like, that's in the zone right there. You got Jadakiss.
Yeah. He was super comfortable. I know he was not comfortable because that man kept talking about his little chubby chub around his waist, and that man came out that jacket anyway for them last couple tracks. Yeah, that man sat down, and you know when you sit down, that joint kind of come together. Right, that man was sitting on the stage like he was like, "Yeah, man, you better tuck that gut, or you need to drink some water." He was like, "You need to sing." It's like. This brother is smacking this man right now. So listen, it is what it is, man.
You should know better than to crack off fat people anyways. Because it's like, you know better.
Keep one. I keep one ready. I keep one ready. The kids I coach be saying something like, yo, don't test Coach Racing. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it to yourself.
I heard one kid.
I've been fighting diabetes. You think I'm worried about fighting your words?
Listen, kid said something to me. I ranked off 3 real quick because this is his first time. Every other kid, I'll give him 1, wait and see if he won another one. Then I hit him with the ha ha ha. He was.
I'm gonna run some suicides on my own.
My man was like, "Why are you like this, Coach Ray?" I was like, tell your man to leave me alone, man. Like,
I was born in fire.
Right. You were really born in the darkness. Nobody cared until I put the mask on.
Yeah. So I got to speak on the Chris Brown Usher thing.
Yeah, that's where we headed back to. I just wanted to get this out the way.
Yeah. So ever since the Tiny Desk thing, because everybody's like, "Yo, you seen it?" And I'm like, if you know me, you know that I seen Usher Tiny Desk.
Right.
So, and then everybody has done it like since then. I've had 1,000,001 conversations, but who's winning the Versus? But who's winning? Who's winning? Who's winning? Because it's got to be those two. Like that's really like who it is. And I'm gonna say this the way that I've been saying it. So I'm already setting something up.
Okay.
Where it's like I've already like I think I'm gonna do it like on IG or whatever. I'm gonna do a poll. Okay. I'm gonna do all that type of stuff. There is not a single doubt in my head. Chris Brown has more hits than Usher. He has more. Okay. He'll always have more hits. I think I did 2 playlists. I did an Usher playlist and a Chris Brown playlist. Chris Brown has like 50 songs on his. Jeez. Usher has like 33 or something like that.
You only need 20.
In the Verses, you only need 20. And I think that's the problem that people can't wrap their heads around. Is like, yes, these songs are good. But when I play this song, what song are you picking over it?
And as spectators, people are starting to figure that out. Like the reason people are winning is because of the way they are attacking the game. But it's like they say, any given Sunday, depending on if you shut that QB down, you play the right defense, you score a couple more times when you're not supposed to, you never know what's going to happen. Some people come in there and they don't like. So I know at first for me, and I'll throw it back to you. At first for me, I was blaming the DJs because I think a lot of the times the singers or the performers were trusting the DJ to play certain songs. Like early on out, it was just like, and then the guy, whoever it was who was singing or the female who was singing was like, oh yeah, I remember this joint. And then that's what they would go with. But I think now, like the very strategic competitors are like, yo, we're going to go from this. We're going to go from that. We're going to go from this. Save these 2 just in case he or she come with this or that. We'll be ready to smack that in the face. And that's how you got to be about it. Like, if not.
Who was the first person to do that?
Jadakiss.
Against Fabulous.
Yes.
Because everybody was like, oh, Fabulous. Yes. And Jadakiss studied not only his playlist, he studied Fab's playlist. Yes, and he was telling Fab, like, you need to play this song.
Mind you, he was sloshed during
Dunzo.
But there was a couple times where he was like, yeah, I was waiting for that joint.
Yeah. He's like, it's about time you played that.
I got something for it, though. Hey, drop it. I'm like, yo, he was so ready. He was so ready. And I feel like same thing happened with Dipset. And it's just like, it matters. It matters. Because like a lot of people don't, well, man, I mean, some people might have paid attention to, but it's like, of course, Jada's like the point guard of the Locks, right? If you want to put an analogy on it. But like Styles P has some hits. Yeah. Sheik has some hits, not as much as Styles or Jada, but they still made sure to incorporate him into the battle so that he could still get his rocks off, and it's still made for good entertainment, and it's still made for a murder sheet. So just like, if I had to pick, I want you to pick first.
Pick what?
Usher or...
I think we already know where I'm leading, but go ahead.
Okay, all right. So if I had to pick, I'm picking Usher.
Is it because like that's your guy from your time? Like, do you not listen to Chris Brown music like that?
No. Only reason I'm saying that is because of the confidence and the placement that I've seen from Usher on the Tiny Desk.
And those weren't even all his biggest hits.
I know. So I feel like Chris Breezy may come in here like it's a basketball celebrity game that he showed up for, and just like, I'm just gonna rip off mad songs and get up out of here because they all hits. And he could get sloppy and mess around and get bodied.
I would like to think Chris Brown is smarter than that.
Yeah. But if Usher does win, I'm saying it's close by 1, maybe 2 songs.
So this is my whole point, and this is all I've been trying to tell everybody. In a 20-song Versus, you only need to win 11.
That's it.
You only need 11.
That's it.
And like while I said like Usher has like those 33 hits, there's like 12 to 15 of them were like, these are certified.
Right.
Like these are like these aren't hits, these aren't bangers, these aren't throwbacks, these are classics.
Right.
And it's like, yes, in the beginning, like when you're doing like the the 20 through 15 songs, it's like he's gonna get washed in those. Like
right.
Chris Brown's got like, if you were to do letter grades, Usher has like maybe like 4 or 5 A+ songs, and then he's got a couple A's, but then he does have like the C's and the D's. Chris Brown's got a lot of B to B+ songs,
Right.
And that's the thing, is like you're gonna win those, a B versus a D, you're gonna win all that stuff.
Right.
You don't got a lot of A+ songs, and the A+ songs that you got aren't better than Usher's A+ songs. That's my point.
Right.
That's my perspective. But like I said, I'm gonna I'm gonna do like a whole, I'm gonna download videos. I'm gonna do like this song versus this song. I'm gonna do a whole poll, and I'm gonna see like what everybody says.
Yeah.
But I think I know where it's going. I purposely didn't do like I made the big initial like 50 song Chris Brown playlist, and I sent it to 3 other people, and I was like, yo, you find me the 25 best songs, and I'm gonna take the 25 songs that you guys picked and make that the playlist. I'm just gonna handle the Usher playlist,
Right.
because like I know what I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
But it's like I want you guys to agree on like what are the 25 best Chris Brown songs, and then like let's go.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I don't think either person would get washed.
No, not at all. Not at all.
And it's little subtle things that could lose you the match. Like I noticed in the last couple of verses that I watched, is people lose track of where they are in the rounds.
Yes.
So like for me, it's like if Joel goes and then I go and his song is better, he won that round.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes it'll be like, say you went first, then I go, and then you go again, and you be like, oh, I got something for that. Like, no, that round is over. You don't have to have something for this because we're on to the next song. We're on to the next round. So I think sometimes people lose track because Amarion did that a couple times. Like, oh, I got something for that. Like, fam,
you don't have to respond to that.
You don't have to. Like, fam, you already lost this round. Like, there's no coming back to that. You're trying to redeem yourself right now. You better make sure you do it because you're about to lose another round. I feel like he was down 5, maybe 6.
You want to do like a quick 3 songs real quick?
For who?
For Chris Brown versus Usher?
No.
I was gonna say because like
3 is so hard.
I'll give you the 2. So I'll give you the songs. So like one of the debates that I had, or it was just a question that I had, I was like, what is Chris Brown's best song? What is his best song? And then like and this is the main answer that I got is Yo. You remember? Don't know your name, but excuse me, miss. Ooh. I saw you from across the room. I was like, amazing song, probably his best song. I put Yo up, and then I pressed Nice and Slow. It's 7 o'clock. Who's winning?
I'm going Nice and Slow.
That's what I'm saying.
But then Usher comes back with Confessions.
And the thing is, like, I don't think people realize like, how big Confessions really was. Like, the album is amazingly big, but like, just that song is just like.
As soon as the crowd hears that.
I think people forget that there's a Confessions Part 1.
Yes.
They forget that that's Confessions Part 2.
This man been confessing to a lot for a minute.
Got a chick on the side with the crib and the ride, telling you so many lies. Yo.
Why do you have so many chicks on the side? Why is she having a baby?
a song people forgot about that was a huge Usher song. Remember You Got It Bad?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, Let It Burn.
Yes.
Do you remind me?
Yes.
You make me wanna.
Yes.
My way. Like I was saying, it's like
my way.
That's what I'm saying. I do any and everything you want to. But I tell you right now,
I think where Chris Brown.
I'll tell you right now,
is lacking is I don't think he has like a lot of like slow jams.
He's got a few though. There's a lot more than you think. Where you're like, oh, I forgot about this song. I forgot about because that's when I was making the playlist. Like what I tried to do is I went through their albums like one by one and picked out like the hits and then like the other big songs that came from the album that weren't actual hits. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that Chris Brown had this song. Oh yeah, I forgot he had this song. And this song was a big song too. But it's just like. I'm telling you, when it comes down to weighing them, and you're gonna see like when I put the thing out, you're gonna be like, oh man, I forgot that Usher had this one. I forgot Usher had this one.
Listen,
like
I just need them to sign the contract and get it done.
I don't think
that
they will. I feel
super entertaining.
With the Usher that we saw on Tiny, that's like he's too nice. Usher's like too nice. Like he's just like yeah, like real apologetic, real soft spoken. Like I'm chilling. Chris Brown's like the real like in your face. Like yeah, you can do the dancing and do all the look at me nows if you want to, but it's just like I'm telling you, like you do look at me now, and then I pull out the after the night. Your girl around me, you play it for real. That's for real. It's like so they also have the song.
So entertaining.
They have a song together, the new Flame song.
Oh, that's right.
And I don't think people remember, but Usher has the best verse on that song too.
Situation.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I would have to go Usher by one. I
Right.
gotta go Usher by
Let's
one.
move on, man. Because we can do a whole podcast on
All right.
Usher if you want.
All right, time to get into this Insomnia hour.
Wake me up inside.
Wake me up.
Wake me up inside.
Save me.
Save me from the nothingness inside.
All right. You want to get the juicy stuff out the way, or you want?
Just go.
What I'll do is I'll get the potentials out the way, because
Okay.
I know there's something that I watched that you didn't watch.
Right.
And I know there's a couple things. It's actually a few things on here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get those out the way so we can get to the stuff that we can delve in together.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna start with Bear.
I did not watch it, but I intend to.
It's awesome.
Okay.
It is not to be missed. This might jump onto my favorites for this year.
I was about to ask. I was like,
It
when you
might
do
jump
top
into
10
my favorites for this year. So like, I didn't like the show Shameless. I literally only watched it because I enjoyed watching them go through terrible things. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just like they were doing
Because
stuff.
it's white people in the
They're
slums.
such terrible people, and it's just like, why would I want something to work out for you when you're doing terrible things? But there were a few characters that I did like. So of course I liked the neighbors. They was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Liam was cool
Because he's a kid.
because he's a kid, and then Lip was literally the only one inside the house,
The smart one.
right, that I could really respect. You know what I mean? And he's
You didn't get very far in the show, did you? Like, did you get to like Lip's college years and stuff like that?
he had a bad moment too.
All right,
He definitely had a bad moment too. So, but he is the star in the show Bear.
Mhm.
And what happened is his brother, who's played by the Punisher.
Like John Bernthal Punisher, like Shane from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So his brother owns a restaurant, and he ends up committing suicide. And Lip, I forget his name in the show, but Lip comes back to run the shop. And his cousin was the one working the shop, the restaurant with his brother. And he's kind of had like this machismo of like, this is my shop because I've been here with your brother. And Lip's main thing is like, well, if you was here with him, why didn't he leave it to you? He didn't. He left it to me. So he's literally trying to keep alive his brother's restaurant. The key point is that he's coming back from working at one of the best restaurants in the country.
Ooh.
Like he's like literally top chef talent. So when he comes into the restaurant, it's not short order cooking anymore. He tells everybody to refer to each other as chef. They start changing the way they work the counter and prep the food and all that stuff. He's basically trying to keep the restaurant alive. It's a really good story.
I'm all in on cooking stuff anyways. Like I told you, I was gonna watch the show regardless of the fact, but like this endorsement that you're giving it.
Yeah, so everybody like has their own individual stuff going on, and they have to become a team by knowing what they're supposed to do. But through that moment, they're all learning how to become a better chef, and they're trying new things. I think my favorite part of the show is they have something called family. So like the way the restaurant works is like they go from like from the morning to like 10, and then they stop and they go from like 2 to 5 rush hour or whatever. But that time in between, they have something called family. So somebody in the kitchen has to cook something for everybody to eat during their lunch break before the next rush happens. And so it's like they'll be mid-episode and like, who's got family today? And Liv will be like, I got family. I know what I'm gonna make. And while everybody's prepping, he's making his meal plus helping with the food. So when they have a time to sit down, that's what they eat. And so it's a really good show. I won't ruin anything for you, but it's like there's nothing out there that's like this, and I think that's why I found it so enjoyable.
Okay.
Yeah. The next one is the Upshaws.
That's the Mike Epps.
Yep.
All right.
I don't know. I just like Mike Epps. I also like. Why can't I remember her name?
Where's she from?
Living Single, Regine.
Regine from Living Single.
Yeah, Regine from Living Single. I want to say she was on 227. I feel like we had this conversation before.
Like Jack A? Like every time you say 227, I go something like that.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to look it up. But yeah, I enjoyed the first season, so I watched the second season. It's basically like they give you a realistic version or vision of what it is to be inside of a black household. Even some of the ratchet stuff that may happen. Not saying that black people are ratchet. That's not where I'm going. But like we all go through some things in life, and sometimes we judge people based on those things, not understanding that they are still human beings. They still do love each other, still do laugh, still do have fun, and they do work through their problems. And I think Mike Epps does a good job of addressing those tough topics while still being comedic relieving in the show, and still getting to a point to where you just don't feel like you're watching mad randomness.
Okay.
All right. Upshaws is on Netflix.
Which I saw that, and I was just like, I didn't realize that this was the second season.
Oh yeah, yep. So it's definitely the second season.
How high is it on the priority list?
It's not high. It's something you can watch while you kick it.
You said you bodied it in like 2 days, right?
Oh yeah, but I enjoy it.
How many episodes?
Kim Fields.
Ah.
I believe it's like 10 episodes, and they're not even hour-long episodes. I think they're like 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
Oh, yeah, easy.
So you can knock it out. You can knock it out. And the last one that doesn't have a connection to the two of us is a new show. I haven't started watching it, but I'm going to check it out because I'm hearing that it's getting a lot of raves, and it could potentially take over some of those top TV shows that people – The Boys was one of them. They said this could be taking views away from The Boys, even though it just ended. We don't have that on here. We can talk about that.
I didn't watch the finale.
We're not going to talk about it.
You
got to watch that finale.
I know. I heard it today. Yo, it's one of those things where, like I said, time's just been moving mad crazy.
Just one episode behind?
I'm literally all I need to watch is the finale.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because last episode was crazy,
too. It was crazy, too.
Yeah.
We can talk about that if you want.
Yeah, we can. But this is called The Terminal List.
I've been hearing about this.
It's got Chris Pratt in it.
Yeah, so everybody keeps telling me to watch
Jurassic Park. Also
of
from
all
Guardians of the Galaxy.
The Star-Lord.
The Star-Lord. I don't know the premise of the show.
Me neither.
If I had to take a guess, the Terminal List, maybe he's like either going to kill people who need to get killed, or maybe there's people who are dying and he's like giving them a better life before they pay. I don't know what the show.
It looks like it's an assassin type thing.
It does look like that.
Because it is on the banner of Amazon Prime. And it's like I see like he's got like a briefcase and like a gun and stuff like that. So, so I'm assuming it's some sort of Mission Impossible knock list.
Or maybe
situation.
Like he's dying and he has to kill so many people to live. I don't know, but
like that Wack Liam Neeson movie I saw earlier this
year. But like people are raving about it. I'm gonna give it a couple episodes and see what happens, and I'll give a review next.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about it too. So like it's definitely on my list of things to watch as well.
All right. The Boy. So we won't talk about the finale because you didn't watch it.
I didn't.
We can talk about last episode.
We didn't talk about Herogasm either. So like it's literally like those 2 episodes we didn't talk about.
Right. So it's been crazy.
It has been crazy.
The way everything's tying together. I felt like I should have seen this coming, but I didn't see it coming.
Right.
So like I think you've already seen the connection between Homelander and
Soldier Boy.
Which
every time that they call him Soldier Boy, like you don't immediately be like,
right.
Aww. Like literally every time. Like, oh no, Soldier Boy is here. You
right.
But like adding Jensen Ackles to this cast as Soldier Boy, like you want to talk about Chef's Kiss? This dude's crushing it.
Definitely. I love how they brought more relevance to what's the name's character, the speed guy, because I felt like his character was gonna die off, but they gave a way for him to get back in and have some relevance.
He's been a sucker the whole time.
I know he's been a sucker, but I felt like he didn't have enough scenes and lines to where the sucker was just gonna get killed and it was gonna be a wrap for him. But they ended up giving him more lines and more scenes and gave him a real story, and it looks like he could be around for the next season. We'll see what happens. Still, for me, the most refreshing thing about the show is homeboy from Stomp the Yard that used to lead the Mu Gammas.
Huh? Yeah, Laz Alonso, the Mother's Milk.
The shirts that he wear, bro.
The DMX shirt was much called. I was like, I love this dude.
Yo, I'm spoiler alert. He has a Tupac one on in the last episode.
Is it All Eyes on Me? Is it?
No, it just says the big 2 with the big Pac in white, but it's like the broken number and letters. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was on one of his albums, but it just says Tupac dumb big across the chest of the shirt. I was just like, yo, this brother's got.
Well, if we want to give like the kind of like synopsis of like the last 2 episodes before the finale, the second or the one that preceded was the Herogasm.
Yes.
Which is when they're having like the giant orgy with superheroes, which is done a lot different than it's done in the comics. Like in the comics, like it's way more insane.
I believe it, 'cause it's the book.
Yeah. And then it's like, they pretty much go to this orgy because like Soldier Boy has Huey and Butcher.
Yep.
And he pretty much told them, if you guys help me get these people on my team, I will help you guys kill Homelander. Yes. And it's like they wind up going to the TNT twins. And they're at Herogasm. Soldier Boy shows up, kills the twins. Homelander shows up. He winds up getting jumped by Huey and Butcher as well. Mother's Milk is kind of like on the opposite ends of both of them because like he doesn't really agree with the methods that they're taking, especially the fact that now Huey is taking the Compound V.
And because Soulja Boy killed his family.
Yes. I was like, there's another thing, but it's like it's kind of like a means to an end.
Right.
Type of deal. I don't know if we want to talk about like that fight scene real quick.
I didn't know that his powers not only could kill you, but if it doesn't kill you, it takes your powers.
I didn't realize that either. And it took me a minute because like when he fought Kimiko?
Yep.
And it was like she couldn't heal no more. I was like, how come she can't heal no more? And then like later on, like I think Homelander says something. He's like he's short circuiting people's powers.
Yeah.
And I
didn't realize it until after the scene where he showed up to the party and he used his powers there, and they were like, there's several people injured, a few people dead, and a bunch of superheroes that no longer have power. And I was just like, oh, that's wild.
In the finale, did they say why that's the case or no?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. I tried it.
He was like,
I know that brother's like super radioactive and stuff like that. But then we get the penultimate episode, the episode before,
right?
Which is another member that they're trying to track down. I want to say his name is like Mind Freak or something like that.
Yeah.
And he has the most wild superpower where it's like if you look at him in the eyes, he kind of just traps you in like a mental loop.
Your worst memories.
Yeah, until like you die of like dehydration,
right,
or something like that. So like it's really just like a Huey and Soulja Boy episode for the most part. They're working to the same end, but like they're kind of working against each other to do that,
which is real crazy.
We get like this really
many relationships getting torn apart.
We got this really deep Billy Butcher backstory.
Yeah,
I was like, man, Carl Urban is acting his ass off in these scenes. Let me tell you, I'm feeling every time he's just like, don't listen to him. I'm just like, oh my god,
you should have gone back. You shouldn't have left.
He's like, don't walk out on him.
He's not gonna be okay. He's not gonna be okay. I was like, whoa. And then when oh no, that's in the last episode. All right, let's get off of it because I'm gonna ruin it for you. I'm gonna ruin it,
but we did get also another thing too is Black Noir's relationship with Soulja Boy.
Yes.
So like we get like
they get the breakdown of that.
Yeah, and like how and like the way that they did it was amazing.
Right.
Like he has like these really childish like Looney Tunes type characters that like kind of like help him through his mental stuff.
Yep.
And like they kind of like recreate everything.
Right.
And it's like
I never knew until after they do the recreation of that he was really the reason that he was injured.
Yeah.
I thought he was like he got hit by a bomb or something during that fight, and that's not really what happened.
No.
It was crazy.
My brother cracked his skull open like 7 different times.
Something crazy. But
it also made me forget that Jensen Ackles was a voice actor at some point too, because like when he does like the voice acting for the Eagle, like you feel it like every time.
Who?
The Soulja Boy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's most famous for being Dean Winchester from Supernatural, but he's also you never watched Supernatural? I think you'd actually bang with it. It's
that
pretty
like
sick.
Smallville type stuff.
They're pretty much like kind of like ghost hunters, but like they hunt down like these things that we think are like fables or like myths. So like they'll hunt down like the Tooth Fairy, and they fight like vampires, and they fight like all that other type of stuff.
Oh, so it's kind of like is that like Van Helsing?
Sure, but it's like it gets way more in depth as it goes along, because then it starts getting into like biblical stuff.
Okay,
where it's like one of the brothers has like the mark of Cain, and like you find out that like he's actually like the vessel for I can't remember who he's the vessel for, but then the other brother is the vessel for like the angel Gabriel and stuff like that. And, like they start getting into like Leviathans and like all this stuff. It's like it gets really really dope like, at a certain point in time. But he was also the voice actor for the Red Hood in the Batman animated movie, Batman Under the Red Hood. Oh, come on, man! It's like probably the best animated superhero movie ever.
Man, you gotta put me on. You put me on. My bad.
But what you got? Those 2 episodes were fantastic. I've heard only good things about the finale, so like I can't wait to watch it. I'm gonna watch it before the next episode.
All right.
Easily.
Okay.
I'll probably watch it today. So.
Okay. All right. We got 2 left. We'll say the best for last.
Okay.
We'll go with Umbrella Academy.
I'm glad that we agree on what's the best thing that we're saving for last. Not even me. I really enjoyed this season of the Umbrella Academy.
I did, because last season it was
wishy-washy.
Yes.
It was a little.
Yes. Even Des said it because he was watching it because he had never watched it, but he saw all of us watching it in the house. He was like, "All right, let me go ahead and binge watch something." And he was like, he got to that season, like, "Yo, this season is so trash." And then he got to the last season. I was like, "Oh, I thought you was over this." He was like, "Nah, it's getting better." But yeah, the last season was pretty dope.
I mean, let's be honest. In the first 5 minutes of this season, they're having a Footloose dance off.
Yeah.
And I was like, immediately, like, I'm in on the show. Like, I was like,
That's what's happening.
well, whatever's going on with this season,
right.
I'm fucking in. Because I was like, they start doing the dance. I was like, why does this look so familiar? And then they all start. I was like,
Right.
is it Footloose?
Right. Listen, I knew what was going on right away. I was like, there's no way this is what's happening right now. As soon as I see Five get up and hop in and clap his hand, like, I was like,
ain't no way,
there's
bud.
no way. I was like, somebody's in a trance. They are going back in time through dancing. Something is happening. And then when I found out that Shorty Spit was what was doing it, I was just like, makes perfect sense. I was not falling for this one, but it was super funny to see them. I was just like, when Luther took the lead, he's like, I'm trying to save the world.
I'm trying to save the world. Are you in there or not?
Dude was like, I'm with you. Oh my goodness, yeah, it was hilarious.
I thought it was fantastic. I think it's the best season that they've had so far.
Definitely. I love the way they tied everything together. The new approach that they had to the father was amazing. Klaus being able to find out being able to find out exactly the way he should be using his powers and being able to finally master them through a relationship that he always wished he had with his dad, but he never had. So now he does have it. So I think that was pretty dope. Look at Sidebar Bam just walking in like it's okay.
Oh my God.
Just walking in like it's okay. Like this guy.
Sidebar Bam.
That is hilarious though. That is hilarious. Sidebar. That is hilarious.
We're still in the middle.
Let us get through this Umbrella Academy. Hold on. So also was dope. I think for me, the dopest thing was like how the dad knew that it took all 7 of them to reset the timeline or whatever it was that they was trying to do to save the world, and how he purposely acted like he wasn't somebody who he actually really was, still being a jerk to get everybody to where they needed to be. Like, it takes a strong psychotic mental capability.
Well, remember, he was on them pills. It was like something like that. So like, once he came off them things, he was just like, yeah.
Right.
You ready to get back at it.
If I had to pick my favorite person from this episode, this season.
That's a tough question. I didn't realize that's what we was going to ask, because I think we could all agree who's the worst person in this show.
And
we'll say on 3.
The entire series.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Allison.
There you go.
Why did you say it?
No. Allison is the worst. This, and maybe some of last. Allison gets on my nerves. But clearly, this is all his fault. All the time, every time. The most powerful sister. What's her name?
What? Victor?
Yes.
How was it Victor's fault? What did Victor do? Victor's trying to chill.
Yeah, now after you done blew smoke in the homeboy's mouth and he done killed everybody's parents, like, if you had just, mind you, listen, Victor, we told you not to go nowhere. Why didn't you just stay like you were supposed to stay? Nah, you go and see little homie, he ends up running off, drowning, and then you save his life, and he ruins the rest of the world.
The only reason that Victor acts like that is because it's all their fault that Victor does what Victor does, because all that he wants is the approval and them to listen to it, and they don't. So then he goes, why should I listen to y'all? And then goes, does his own thing. If they were a family like they were supposed to be in the first place, he wouldn't go do the stuff.
Victor reminds me of the little chick from Hawkeye.
Oh my God. Like, not
trouble.
Kate Bishop. Can you get over it? By the way, when I saw my grandma in Florida, she said that she's rewatched Hawkeye at least 5 times. She's like, it's my favorite show. Whenever I have nothing to watch, I watch Hawkeye.
Not Kate Bishop. But yeah.
I was like, you could do so much better things with your time, but I'm glad you enjoy it.
But yeah, Allison's a terrible person.
She's the worst.
In this series, she is the worst. But
when she mind rapes Luther.
Yes.
Like, I was like,
that was crazy.
This is the part like you can't come back from.
That was crazy. That was definitely crazy. And then got Luther smoked. Like it was out of control. She was definitely tripping. But for me, if I'm picking my favorite, I gotta go with Diego.
That's your favorite?
From this season? He had a strong season.
He did have a strong season.
He had a strong season.
How trash was Ashtray in the show? His son. Ashtray.
Remember when I told you, I was like, yo, old boy from Euphoria is in here?
Yeah,
and I was just like, yo.
I was like, what a waste of this guy's like ability. Like
he was also
nothing.
acting like Lil Shorty from Hawkeye. Like everywhere you go, something goes wrong.
Like there's certain people like Luther like a lot. Like I'm like, why are these guys just dumb?
Right.
Like I was like they're really making them like idiots and stuff like that. I'm like, I feel like that's not their characterization.
No. Bro, when he harpooned Klaus, I was like, yeah, this is the straw. This is the straw right here.
I'm like,
this is the straw right here.
I'm like, yo.
That man was like, look at this. And then this man just tried to get rid of the body. It's just like, you told me to clean up my own mess, so this is what I'm doing. My brother, your uncle, you're cleaning up your uncle, Phil?
First of all, get the carpet.
Right.
It was both tripping.
Right.
I was like, yo, Fives is everybody's favorite. How you gonna say that? Fives is everybody's favorite.
Oh, the little short dude.
Yeah.
The young dude. Yeah, 5 is cool. I like it. I was really rocking with Diego.
I gotta say, I was banging with Diego heavy this season too.
Yeah.
And I was like, I knew that they weren't gonna let Luther have a happy ending.
No. Of course not.
Are we gonna get into spoilers about like what this next season could possibly be about? Because like, what is going on right now?
So, I don't know.
You don't even want to take a shot. You don't even take a shot.
So for me, they're gonna get their powers back. I don't know how. So this season ends with them not having any powers, and they all go their own separate ways. And then the dad is in the big ivory tower with the wife that was on the moon that Luther was protecting, that he had no idea that he was protecting. So you wasn't up there for nothing. You was, but you wasn't. I want to know what her relevance is and like what she can do. She might mess around and be some type of super healer, and that be the way they get their powers back because the world's gonna end again. And the father doesn't want that to happen, and maybe she ends up killing him so they can live. It's a lot that could happen here.
I think that's a solid guess. I don't know. Like they've deviated so far from the.
I felt like you were holding back a smirk when you said it. Like
I don't know.
I saw a little baby smirk there again. He was like, I do know what happens.
I don't like I'm telling you, like even this season, a lot of the stuff that they've done is just not in the comics at all. Like they've completely,
got you.
Like in the comics, like the hotel that they're in is actually like an interdimensional prison for like a bunch of villains, and it's like the prison breaks, and it's like they have to put the villains back.
Sheesh.
And that's not what the season is at all. They completely flipped like all that other type of stuff.
Right.
So it's like whatever they're doing is like it's their own thing right now. It does seem like this reality that they're in has versions of themselves already in there, like we saw other Ben power.
I gotta go get your sister.
Yeah. Well, we'll be here, man. We'll be here. It's gonna be a long episode today, man. We time stamping and everything, man. So, yeah.
Time Bar Bam will be back.
All right.
Yeah, go do that.
All right. Bye, Side Bar Bam. It's nice to see you.
So he's got his own
Right. This man made an own intro on the key. Bam out. All right. And last but not least, we have Stranger Things. Oh my goodness. This I don't even know what to say.
When I initially looked at I was like 2 episodes, 2.5 hours. After watching the first one, I was like, I can't wait for this 2.5 hour episode. I was like, let's get it.
I went right to it. Like, I got time. I got time right now.
Going to, like, the thing is, it was like 2 a.m. when I finished the first part. And I was like, I will bang this one up right now. And I was like, I'll go to bed at 5 something. No. But then my brother was like, yo, I'm in the middle of watching it. Like, let's watch it tomorrow together. And I was like, all right. we did that.
Bro, I had 4 errands to do. The errands became a part of watching Stranger Things. Like, I'm watching Stranger Things while I do your errands are now a part of this. Yeah, I need to get along or get off my schedule.
I mean, I don't even know how you want to tackle this right here. Like, do you want to go character by character? Do you want to go like the timeline wise? Like, how do you want to bang this out?
Oh, my goodness. All right, so how about this? How about we go
best moments, worst moments? Like, what do you want to do?
Best moment, worst moment, favorite character for the season.
All right. What do you got for best moment?
Best moment for me?
I'm getting ready to cry quick.
Best moment for me, because there's so many.
That's the thing is like this season did a phenomenal job.
There's so many. But like the one, so I'm just going to go whatever just popped in my head. And the first visual I got was Dustin and Eddie on top of the trailer.
Come on, bro.
While he's playing the guitar.
Come on, bro. I'm about to cry.
I was like, I'm so happy they got his moment. Because when he walked in there, he's like, when he walked in there and he saw the guitar, and he was like, look at you.
It's like you were destined for this.
Like you were destined for this. And I was just like, I don't know, maybe he's gonna use the guitar to fight off the bats or something. I thought he was gonna make a weapon. I didn't realize that he was actually going to have a solo. So remember last time when you was like, I can't hear the show if the words aren't on there.
Yeah.
So this season I watched with the words on it.
Isn't it better?
It's so much better because of certain things they put in there. So when he starts,
they're like such and such starts playing, and you're like, wait, I know that song.
It goes dramatic riff on the guitar, and then it goes epic solo, and he just Dustin's like best metal ever, and I'm like, let's go. And then what made it even more crazy, he was like 30 seconds and counting, 20. He's like 10. He's like, he's like 5, 4. I was like, yo, this brother's literally playing it down to the last wire. Then they run in and they get in there and they're like, oh, I was like, yes. I was like, yo, that joint was fire. That joint was fire. And of course, the sad ending of it was that he had his hero moment. He had 2 hero moments. He had the one.
I didn't run this time.
I didn't run this time. And it's like, all right, so it's like 3 scenes, but it's like this is all the one scene. It's the guitar.
Yeah.
And then it leads to Eddie like not running. He's like, I don't want to run. I'm gonna fight. And he had a great fight.
Amazing fight, yeah.
If he hadn't pushed Dustin, they might have Dustin would have died too. But if he came back a little sooner, he might have been able to help him. You never know.
Well, yeah, because I mean that's what winds up getting him is the ones coming from behind. So if Dustin's got your back,
right,
and you guys got the things up for the most part, like you could kind of hold that off for like a long time.
And then lastly, how Dustin gets to explain to his uncle,
come on, bro, how
everybody hates him, but he's actually a hero. And the way
I was there,
he's like, I was there. And the way he explained it, he was just like. It was like I was just like, dang, man. It was like you wasn't only here for a season, but it felt like you've been here for 3 seasons because he did a really good job with that part. So if I'm picking favorite characters from this season, I'm also going with Eddie.
Eddie Munson supremacy, bro. Eddie Munson supremacy.
I'm also going with Eddie.
Easy.
Yeah.
Even though my man Steve ain't getting enough love.
No, he definitely does. But he was doing his hero stuff like he was supposed to.
Yeah.
Mind you, he's walking around with the black mark on him from when he got bit by the bat, but he's still out here like, yeah, gang, I'm ready. This is what I do.
When Steve Eddie tells Steve before they leave, and he's like, "We're not heroes.
We're not heroes. We're not the ones. Don't worry about us."
It all reminds me of like in the Lord of the Rings, like at the end when like they're bowing, and he's like, "You bow to no one." Right. It's like that's what I'm talking about. It's like, what do you mean you not a hero, bro?
Right. Yeah.
We all in this. Yeah. I mean, the whole show kind of it goes down. The thing is, it's so crazy how separate everybody is.
Yeah.
Like, because then
I feel like that's traditional for Stranger Things. I feel like
but it's like usually they come like everybody converges like at some point.
And this was the one time that I felt like they came together, but they weren't in the same location. Mm-hmm. So like they were collectively still working together without knowing it.
Yeah, and everybody's playing their part.
Right, and everybody was somewhere else. But usually, like you said, they usually all end up together doing it together. So it was like it was pretty dope.
Because you got your. I guess you could call them the Russia crew. Where you got your Joyce.
Yep.
You got Murray. You got Hopper.
Yep.
And then Yuri.
Yep.
And then I can't. Do we ever know what the other Russian guy's name is? Is it like Nikolai?
I don't know. That's crazy that's the first thing that pops up.
But like I feel like that's actually his name.
It might be. Then you got the pizza crew.
Yeah, you got the pizza crew where Argyle, I think his name is, Jonathan, Will, Mike, and Elle.
Yep.
I guess you could count Elle as part of their crew because like she just kind of ends up with them.
Right.
And then you have the Upside Down crew, which is like the majority of the guys, stuff like that.
And then the monitors of the Upside Down crew from the regular world.
What do you mean?
Like you have the crew that goes into the Upside Down, but then there's a crew.
Yeah, because the Upside Down crew kind of splits up in its own thing as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. Man, it was. I thought that. I was concerned about this season because I was like, where are they going to go with this? It could get messy. You know, my fear is always the lazy writing.
And they wrote the shit out of this season.
They did.
And it's like you can usually tell by the way conversations are had is how well it's written. Mm-hmm. And just whatchamacallit, like you want to talk about like foreshadowing and like all the other type of stuff, like the like we were just talking about like the Eddie scene, like the way that that's written, where it's like we're not heroes, and then I can't remember what he says to Steve before he leaves, and then it's like then like you encompass that with the conversation Dustin has with the dad, and it's like this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is good writing.
Right.
I did think when they escaped the Russian prison, but then they had to go back to the Russian prison, I was like, this is usually a sign of poor writing, like we just did this, but we have to come back to this. But it's like they kind of wrapped it up in a pretty nice way.
What's that movie where the dude broke out of the jail and then had to break back into the jail? The TV remember. Show, Prison Break.
Yeah. If it wasn't for L, the Pizza Crew is the worst crew like of all time, right?
L and the pizza driver. I like the pizza driver.
He is very up and down to me. Like, especially like in the beginning, like I was like, man, like this guy can't stop talking like enough for me. And then like as you get into it,
he just gave me a real Bill and Ted type feeling.
Which I think he's supposed to. How much do you not care or not like Jonathan Byers?
Who's Jonathan Byers?
Exactly my point.
The brother?
The older brother.
I'm all set. He doesn't even need to be there. Go to college.
First of all, you are 39, bro. But however old you're supposed to be like 22, brother. There's no way like you're not 40 years old. I know he got caught up on that coke charge like a couple years ago, and I was like, it looks like it, bro.
Yeah. He said life has not been kind to you.
He looks crazy, and I was just like,
you know what? Your family does not age well.
He did get the one. His saving moment was him realizing Will's predicament, and then kind of just like having the conversation with him, like, "I'm here for you."
Right.
So that was like his big redeeming moment for the most part.
Yeah.
Because like otherwise, he was pretty useless this season.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mike, I kind of just don't like him in general. Like he's just kind of like
a bad friend.
He is a bad friend. He's supposed to be the heart of the group, but it's like you've been pretty heartless for the most part.
And he's mad selfish.
That's what it is. He's really selfish.
I don't even think he does it on purpose because he's just so used to being selfish. Some may confuse it for privilege, but who cares? But it's just like everybody always has to explain to you your worth. Like we've literally saved the world twice, and I still have to tell you what your job is. Like my job has now been to coach you on what your job is.
And I'm trying to deal with which I called. Is like his sexuality, but Will. I was like, that boy was. I was like, damn, this boy gay as hell.
Definitely, and it's crazy because you know the time in which this show is made. Like
it ain't like that.
It ain't like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's just not like most shows are making sure that they have something that represents the gay community in their show, but like for this, they were kind of like really teetering on like, is this going to happen or is it not? And then this season you end up with two people.
Do you think Mike like honestly doesn't know, or is he just brushing him off?
No, I feel like Mike's an idiot.
No, he's just that
really doesn't know.
Because like
I said, in that time,
he's just that selfish.
He's that selfish, and in that time, you're not really checking.
Self-absorbed.
There you go. That's very, very well said. I think, and like I said, in that time, it's not like modern day times where you notice it or you see it, or it's like it's so out of the norm, right?
That it's like, yo, wait, what? Yeah, like knock you back into
So
it.
I think back then it's just not something that people are looking for. You know what I mean? And I think that's why Will is struggling so much. And
you trying to tell me that when they was in the back of that van, like you can't see this brother sobbing his eyes out over there?
But think about if you was on that 70s show and like you would.
But what I'm saying is like if we're in the back of the car together and I go like this and start bawling, crying, you're not gonna notice that I'm crying.
Maybe. Oh no, definitely.
I might
Mike
think
was just like because we didn't play Dungeons and Dragons because we're trying to save the world.
Because like Mike looked over and was like, "Dick."
Right.
He's like, whatever he's going through. Like,
right. And Mike, like literally, you have nothing going on, bro. I don't even know what you do. Other than the one,
you L's boyfriend now.
That's all you is L's boyfriend, bro. And every now and then you go, I love you. Just know that I love you. I know you said it 17 times last season, and that's how she woke up and got work in. Like, L, you kind of made me mad about the fact that you don't know how strong you are only with Mike telling you that he loves you. Like, come on, fam, get it together.
That's what he is. He's the L battery.
Right.
That's his whole character arc is that he can't say I love you to the girl that he loves.
It's like,
that's
open your back so I can hop in it.
Yo, I didn't know where you were going with that at first. I was like, yo, open your back, man. Top 3 character, Lucas's sister. Erica?
Oh yeah.
Erica?
Oh yeah.
Come on,
Erica's
bro.
a gem.
Yo, she is solid.
And she put the paws on somebody.
solid.
Put the paws on
She's
somebody.
10 tones down.
Yo, the way she talked to people, I
Yeah.
can see her having I can see her having a kid and literally listen, I ain't with all this other stuff, man. This is what we doing right now. You better get your act together.
I feel like she's like a legit star in the making. Like
Yes.
whatever thing that she jumps to next, like she's gonna crush it.
Yes.
That's the thing is like this whole cast is like young stars. Like we're all trying to figure out like the Jonathan Byers was supposed to be the New Mutants, and like they're all gonna be like these things. Like for the most part, like I wouldn't be surprised if them and Euphoria kids start like really branching out.
I like that. I wouldn't even have a problem with her getting typecast because there's nothing. I have no problem with seeing her
what you call it?
like the strong, confident,
know-it-all
black girl.
Yeah,
I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
You just said this, and this just came into my head right now. This is right now on the spot. I haven't thought about this before.
Okay.
In the Marvel Universe, the smartest character in the Marvel Universe is this young black girl named Moon Girl. I think Erica would be perfect for Moon Girl. Perfect. She runs around with a giant dinosaur that's all red, and like she's literally. I'm telling
Yoshi?
you, it's what you call it. It's fantastic. She's a fantastic comic book character. Erica is like. It's a perfect casting for her.
I'm with it.
She could also be Ironheart, who is the new Iron Man.
I thought they cost the Iron
I think they did, but I'm just saying, like, she just would be good.
You didn't think I knew about that, huh? I've been doing my homework a little bit.
I know you be on Hype Beast and stuff like that.
I started a new anime too, but I ain't into it. It's called Spriggin'.
I started Spriggin' too.
Hey, we'll get to it another day.
I was watching it on the airplane.
All right, but you still owe me 3 though.
I owe you 3 what?
Your best moment, the worst moment, and your favorite character from the season.
The Eddie Munson is the best moment. Like it's like to me, like it's without a doubt. The best moment. I'm trying to think of like another moment that took place that was pretty sick, and it's like a lot of it has nothing to do with the L storyline. I gotta say, like for the most part, like a lot of it
was tough. Max.
But that's what I was trying to think. I was like, is there a Max scene that like really sums it up? And it's like I don't think so. I did
her getting broken up though.
Bro, my heart. I was just like, because that's the thing is Lucas was killing it in that scene.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying. Like Lucas is really bodying it, and it's like I thought they had a really dope scene.
He could have saved her if old boy wasn't being a hater. Ugh.
He stepped and broke the. When he broke the headphones, I was just like,
Lucas did too. He was like, no. My mixtape. No, that's 3 quality laughs that I got out of you, man.
Why are you so rough on my things?
I'm in my bag today.
No, I was just really emotionally invested in this show, so like anything is like really triggering me.
Hey, listen,
like that. You want to know what's another dope moment? And it's also a very well written moment. I really, really enjoyed it. And it's like, these are the things. It's like my favorite things in a lot of these shows is dialogue.
Okay.
And when Steve is walking with Nancy and he's like explaining what he wants for like his future, like with a whole bunch of kids and like all this other type of stuff. And then he kind of brings it back around. He's like, you were there when I was talking about it. But it's like he plays it before he did that thing. Like he played it in a way where it's just like, but I am like your friend. It's like I understand.
Right.
Like he's not a hater.
I'm not about to step on homie toes.
He never is dissing him. He's never doing
I am
nothing
here
like that.
Just in case.
But then once he realizes like death is around the corner, and he's like, yo, like I can't go without getting this thing off my mind. And I was just like, good for you, Steve.
Right.
But especially from like, you want to talk about character arcs. Nobody liked him in the first season for the most part because like he was the hater to Jonathan Byers.
Right.
Because he's just like, I think he called him like a queer. He broke his camera. He was doing like all that type of stuff. And it's like, you want to talk about full arcs? That boy Steve different, man.
Oh yeah, success story.
I can't tell you how much I don't like Robin's girlfriend that she's all infatuated with, that she's making peanut butter sandwiches with. I was like, old shorty with the red hair and the yellow teeth. I was like, Dollar General. This Dollar General Molly Ringwald. I was like, man, I don't care about this girl.
Bro, tripping right now.
Because I was like, Robin's a really dope character. She's a really dope girl. I'm like, you could be better than this girl.
Yo, that is hilarious. But you got to, again, back then, Say a dime a dozen. You know what I mean? You don't know. You mess around, shoot your shot, and find out that you are shot your shot in the wrong area.
But like
Not
Robin,
only did you lose a friend, but now you're gonna get outed, and everybody's gonna be treating you crazy.
Robin says that to Steve this season. She's like, it's different for you than this. She's like, you can shoot like and do all this other stuff, whatever.
Right.
Like it doesn't bother you. She's like, if I do it to the wrong person, like she's like, I'm a pariah. It's like that. It's dumb.
It's a wrap. Yeah, I'm excited for the next season.
But my favorite character, and it's got to be besides Eddie. Lucas isn't in there enough. So I'm gonna go Steve because it's like I think Steve. No, what am I talking about? Dustin is the best character.
That's why I was gonna leave it to you. I was gonna leave it to you.
Have you seen the new rom-com that he's in?
Yes. Oh no.
He's got a new movie coming out where he's in a rom-com and he's like a smooth brother. And I was like,
listen.
Look at my guy.
Listen,
I'm gonna send you the trailer.
The way this man is talking to people this season, like, yo, I know what I'm talking about.
They give my man a lip.
Yo, yeah. Yo, he's acting that part, man. So yeah, I'm happy for Dustin. I'm happy you picked Dustin too. But like, yeah, him and Eddie stole the show for me, man.
Worst character is Jason.
The
football player.
Basketball.
He didn't get it bad enough.
Nah.
He didn't get it bad. I was like,
he didn't get to
it wasn't
get to suffer his wrongness.
He didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't satisfying enough.
Right.
I was like, I wish Vecna would have grabbed Joe ass instead of Max. That's what I was hoping.
Right.
Like there was a point in time where I was just like, I know Vecna needs 4 people. Just take Jason.
Take that one.
We can get the apocalypse started. Leave Max alone and take this bum up. Like I couldn't stand him, bro.
Right. And what I was thinking too was that remember how everything opened up because Max was the last sacrifice?
Yeah.
But then you find out Max isn't dead.
Yeah.
So everything's really like not falling apart. But then at the end, everything is falling apart. So does that mean Max died in the hospital?
Well, Elle goes to go touch her and stuff like that, and like there's nothing in her mind state.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's like I don't think that she saved her. She might have physically saved her, but like I don't think that there's anything in there.
Or maybe Max becomes like the version of one in there, and they have another weapon.
There's an Eddie Munson theory that I don't have enough time.
He becomes that guy.
I don't have enough time.
That would be fire.
To go through
that would be fire. That would be fire
to go through it on here. But I just want to let you know it's a thorough theory.
That would be fire. I thought this was the last season, and Shondez he battled me on it. He was like, "No, they said there's another season."
They've actually come out and started saying too much. Because like the showrunners have come as like, hey, like just so you guys know, this next season is going to focus a lot on Will. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They're doing like a lot of that, and I'm like, yo, just shut the hell up and just have it come out.
If you want to talk about it, say earmuffs. I'll do this. Let's say earmuffs. But yeah, I watched that guitar. To be honest with you, once we're done, I might watch that scene again. I might watch it.
You want to talk about a way like how you do like a swan song or like you say farewell to a character like. That's the way you do it.
When I first watched it, I rewinded it like 3 times.
How many characters make it out of the show in the end?
In the end?
Yes.
If you're asking me, I'm going to say none.
None of them make it out? They all sacrifice themselves?
Yes.
Somebody's got to make the sacrifice play to make everybody else live, and it's most likely going to be Elle.
Yeah, Elle's going to die for sure.
Is Mike dying? Well, you said everybody, so I mean, that's yeah.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's going to have a moment of death.
My boy Dustin better make it out.
If I had to pick one person who was going to make it out, and it's going to sound really dumb, I'm going to go with Will.
Damn. I feel like him and Elle are going to like team up on some joint, and they're going to sacrifice themselves.
No, I could see like Mike trying to sacrifice himself for Elle, and Elle die anyway, and Will try to sacrifice himself for Mike.
The dumbest love triangle of all time. Like, what is this?
Right. So I don't know, man, but we'll see.
I trust the showrunners now. I'll tell you that. Whatever they decide, I trust them.
Yeah.
Bravo. Yeah. I don't know if we need to say this, but I feel like this is at the top of my list already for TV shows of the year.
Definitely.
Like, I'm pretty sure when we get to the end of the year, it's gonna be. Let's go on. What do we got next?
I left one off the docket. I don't know how I overstepped this one, but it's only a few episodes in, so we could bring it up next time. But The Chi is back.
Okay.
And it's 3 episodes in. Super excited about where it's going right now, but we'll get back to that.
Okay.
All right. Iman Shumpert's on there.
Is he?
He ain't no Anthony Edwards, but he holding it down.
Is he a Freddie Gibbs?
Nope. He ain't a Freddie because Freddie Gibbs is up there, man.
Okay.
If I'm taking those three, I'm going Freddie, Anthony, Shump.
Wow. Okay. Okay. All right.
Anthony Edwards won me over. He should be getting a contract or two in the mail right now. I don't care what the movie's for.
Have you seen people posting the Adam Sandler as the cover for 2K23?
That's hilarious. That is. Was he the super long shorts, the super long?
He's got like
tee?
this big long Lakers jersey.
He's coming around the corner.
Yeah, because he was just seen at some park playing ball,
playing random basketball, threw a behind the back pass to somebody.
He loves that behind the back
and
pass.
Just walks away from it like that.
We haven't seen nobody punch his shot or steal nothing from him yet. It's just like, are people just being nice to Adam Sandler, or is he that nice?
I wish Charlie Murphy was still around. I feel like he would have an Adam Sandler basketball.
Yeah, they really Adam Sandler. Let me tell you,
he went to Prince's house with us. They was going shot for shot.
He's like, "Give me some rice, a cat can ball."
Word. I was like, "Yo, how you play so well?" He's like, "It's what I got in my bottle." He's like, "What is that?" He's like, "Water from the Lake Minnetonka."
Said it was high quality H2O.
Oh man, R.I.P. Charlie, man.
Shabalaboo.
All right, we can step over to Popcorn Papi.
Don't stop, pop that. We got a lot of movies on here.
No, we don't. We have 4.
That's a lot of movies. Usually we only have 1, maybe 2 movies.
And we only need 3 because I'm about to get the man from Toronto up out of here now. Kevin Hart, I love you, but this movie is trash.
I watched it
Woody
too.
Harrelson, this movie is trash.
It is very by the numbers Kevin Hart movie.
I didn't even finish it.
Oh, I did finish it.
I did not finish it. I refused to.
Oh, okay, all right. I didn't realize you vehemently hated this movie.
Yeah, man, because it was just like you said. It's just like it was like paint by numbers, and at one point it didn't get entertaining. So I went in the kitchen to usually I'll pause it, but if I go to get a snack, I went to get a snack, and I'm kind of just like looking from the kitchen, like they still really doing nothing. I went into the living room and watching the show made what I was eating undesirable, and I was just like, I'm not about to spend
this is a crazy
sorry
day,
man. I'm not about to spend my day like this, and I didn't even turn to something else. I just turned the TV off and finished eating my food. Yes.
You ate your food in silence.
Yes,
that's how you know it was not good.
Wifey came in and was like, what's going on? I was like, I was watching the Kevin Hart movie. I couldn't finish it, and I just wanted to finish my food, so I'm just gonna finish eating, and then I'll go to do something else. I think I ended up going to the garage and working on my bike or something like that. I did not go back to the TV though.
So I did the opposite.
Okay.
I was late to the movie, so I went over to my boy's house. He was already watching it, and it's like they're at the part where I think he gets introduced to the man from Toronto, where they're on the plane, and I was just like, oh, do you want to start this over? And my boy was just legit you don't really need to. I could explain it to you real quick. And then he's like, and we just kind of went from there. And I was just like, by the end of it, I was like, I mean, it's a movie. Right. It wasn't horrible, but it really wasn't that good. It was just very paint by numbers.
I think I stopped watching after he threw up on the dude, that whole scene right there.
Oh yeah, when he cuts the
once that scene was over, I think I was done.
I did finish the movie, and it was like, you could really see where it's going. We could have wrote this movie for the most part. It's where this movie's going. It's nothing surprising is happening.
Bro, Lulu watched the movie, and when she came in, she was like, "What was you watching?" I was like, "The Kevin Hart movie." She was like, "You didn't finish it?" I was like, "Nah." She was like, "Good job."
I tell you right now, it belongs on streaming services.
Right.
This movie should not have been in the theaters. It belongs on the streaming services. So I think we could kind of just put a pin in it right there, and then we could just rate it.
Nah, we don't need to put a
stream
pin in it. I should have watched that. And I watched it on the TV, bro, because I had nothing going on. So I was just like, I'm gonna play dominoes on my phone while I watch the movie. No. So I wouldn't watch this on someone else's phone.
We could stop wasting time talking about this.
Yes.
Right. So I've been thinking.
Okay.
I've been thinking because we do a lot. I should say I do a lot of movie reviews and stuff like that. And I feel like we do get quite a bit long-winded when we talk about them.
Okay.
How do you think about putting a time limit on how much you can say about a movie, and then at the end of the time limit, you have to then say what you rate it?
Perfect.
Okay. What do you want to do? 3 minutes or 5 minutes? What's too long to talk about a movie?
3 minutes is good.
3 minutes is good?
I like 3 minutes.
Okay. Do you think we could get through this movie in 3 minutes? Because we both saw this movie.
Well, get the other ones out of the way because I want to talk about this one more. So you went and seen Black Phone.
Okay. Do you want to start the timer?
Go ahead.
Oh, you're looking at the time down there? All right. The Black Phone. It is a movie starring Ethan Hawke.
Matter of fact, let's do 2 minute drill.
2 minute drill? Oh, shoot. So, am I just giving the synopsis or my thoughts on the movie?
1 minute for a synopsis, 1 minute for thoughts.
All right, so I'm going to try to do the synopsis. You tell me when my minute is up.
All right.
The movie is called The Black Phone and is about Ethan Hawke, who plays a serial kidnapper. He winds up kidnapping this one kid, and the kid is in a room where the only thing in the room is this black phone that is not attached to anything. But when the kid picks up, the kid gets random calls from this phone, and it is from the past victims of this serial kidnapper. And they're giving him hints on how to try to escape Ethan Hawke's basement. And it is, I guess, like that's the synopsis part, so I can give like
That's a minute.
All right.
I feel like please put it in the comments if you were the person who actually timed the minute and let me know if I was a minute or not. 'Cause I kind of winged.
I think that was a little too fast, but like, anyways,
6 with the 7.
I thought fantastically acted movie. It is a suspense, horror thriller movie, and like the whole time, like I feel like I'm at the edge of my seat because like you don't know what's gonna happen. Ethan Hawke is insanely sinister, like even though he was in the movie Sinister, but he is like. He wears a mask like throughout most of this movie, and like his expressions with the eyes and the way that he talks, like you are terrified of this guy like the whole time. And it's like this kid is trying to figure out ways to get out of this basement. There's also like a B plot of like the sister is trying to figure out like where the kid has been taken. So she's on like almost like a detective type time, and she's like 12 years old or however old she is. And the whole time, like you're just like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? And it was like, I thought the movie was absolutely fantastic.
Time.
Out of the nasty scale, which is full price matinee, $5 Tuesday, Redbox, stream it, skip it. I think this is easily a full price movie.
Wow.
Like especially like if you're into like horror type element movies.
Nope.
There's not gore in this movie, so like you're not seeing like a bunch of people get like chopped up, limbs get chopped up and stuff like that. But it's like the thriller suspense aspect of it. Fantastic.
So it's like pop out scary. Like,
It's not even like really. It's the fear of like he's in his basement, and then it's like he's trying to like dig or do something like that, and like you can hear the footsteps coming, and you're like, oh man, like,
reminds me of that game. Like I'd be seeing my son watch people play games, and they like walk around the house just like an evil grandpa trying to grab.
You're talking about neighbor, the Hey Neighbor.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You also went to go see Thor.
I did go see Thor.
All right. 2 minutes.
All right. So Thor stars Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Christian Bale. The premise of this movie is Gore the God Butcher loses his daughter because of the ineffectual acts of the gods on his planet. He then acquires what is known as the Necro Sword, and he proceeds on his conquest to kill all gods in the known universe. Which Thor, on the other hand, after the events of Ragnarok and stuff like that, is kind of trying to be like a very proactive god. Like he's going from like planet to planet, trying to help a bunch of people out. He finds out that his hammer has been rebuilt and it has bonded itself to Natalie Portman's Jane Foster, and they have to eventually team up to try to take out Gore the God Butcher. This movie is very mid. It is a mid movie on the same level in the same tier as Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. There was a lot of times in the movie that I turned over to the side. I was like, what is happening in this movie right now? Like, I think that they have like a very hard time with the tone of this movie because it's like they do try to do a lot of the very jokey aspects that were in things such as Ragnarok.
That's what I was saying.
It's just what we call it. It's just like I feel like they miss a lot of the stuff in it. I will say though, the post-credit scene for this movie was one of the best post-credit scenes I've seen in a long time, and I know for a fact when you see it, you're gonna go because like I legitimately was like, I'm gonna swear. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I did like that. And I was like,
I'm gonna swear.
When you see it, I can't wait to hear your reaction because like I don't want to spoil what it is, but I would just say that there's a new character that's gonna be introduced into the MCU, and the casting of who the character is. I was like, ain't no fucking way. I did like this. I was like, does no one else see what I'm seeing right now? This is crazy.
Time.
On my list, on the rankings, I think that it falls in between the $5 Tuesday and the matinee.
Wait for it to fall on Disney Plus.
I think it has to fall into the matinee because I think it is a good action movie. I think if you're like an MCU fan at heart, like you're gonna see it anyways. I don't recommend paying full price for it. I thought it was like it's just very okay. I don't know when it comes to Disney Plus, but it's like if you could,
I wait.
Like, why not?
I'm still waiting for what you call it, and it still hasn't dropped, or else, and I can't go see it in the movies anymore. Everywhere.
It is on streaming services.
On what?
I'll find out while we go to the next movie.
So this one is not going to get 2 minutes. I don't care what you say. We're gonna take our time with this one.
Okay.
We're gonna take our time with it, but it's definitely worth. So I'm lining up like little random stuff on Netflix, right? Because we always looking for content. All right, so
it's on Amazon Prime. Vudu.
Is it?
Yeah, I paid $5 for it. It's on Vudu, YouTube. It's on Viki, whatever the hell Viki is. Apple TV.
I'm watching on Amazon Prime. So yeah,
I will give you the $5 to watch this movie.
Huh? So I love the way he did that. So every now and again, I'll go on Netflix, and you know how they have like the hot stuff, reminder stuff that's coming out.
Yeah.
So I went through a bunch of stuff, and I ended up like tapping some notifications on stuff. And one of the notifications that I tapped was on a movie called Triple R. It's not even called Triple R. It's just called RRR.
It's like Rise, Revolt, Revolution?
Yes.
I think it is.
Yes. So what got me was like in the trailer, dude is like racing away from a tiger, and another dude is like grabbing a spear and railing up something. Like it looked super cheesy. And I was just like, but it looks entertaining. Because the first feel I got from it is like a B flick karate movie where they do obscene things that you're not supposed to do, but because it's kung fu, it's acceptable and it looks dope. And this is what I get from this movie. But the story is dope. The two actors they picked for the movie is dope.
Fantastic. I did not remember the names of the characters in this movie
At all.
So the first guy, I just called him Vegeta the whole movie because I felt like he was just Vegeta. And then the guy that was in the jungle, I just kept calling him Wolverine. And then there's a part where he literally takes the three things between his fingers. And I was like, is this nigga Wolverine?
I was calling him Fire and Ice.
And I can see how you got there.
I was calling him Fire and Ice. But
because when he becomes Fire Jesus, then what?
Right.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All right. So the premise of the movie is first is based in Indian culture.
Yes, I want to say it's Pakistani, but I honestly don't know.
It could be, but I don't want to not be right about the origin.
I'll tell you right now. You keep talking. Right, I'm gonna look up the Netflix.
It is somewhere
definition of it
in India, I want to say.
Okay.
But the two characters, and it's all in another language as well. So you want to throw the subtitles on. There is some English in the movie, but
yo, can I read the synopsis of this movie that Netflix gives?
Yes.
A tale of two legendary revolutionaries and their journey far away from home. After their journey, they return home to start fighting back against the British colonists in the 1920s.
That's basically what it is. So, is it set in India?
I'm about to check it right now.
If it's not,
it is Indian Telugu language action flick, which takes place in India.
So it probably Indonesian or something. We'll just say India.
Yeah, look at the poster for this movie. I fucking love
that scene. That scene was fire too.
This whole movie is fantastic.
What you have is, as you always see, colonizers come into a nation or a country or a village, and they try to make things as they expect them to be. Long story short, there's this white lady in a village, and she's getting henna tattooed on her hand, and the little girl is singing a song to her. She ends up paying the lady. She thinks that she's paying her for the tattoo when she was actually paying her for the daughter, and takes the daughter away. So in that village, there is what's called an uncle, and that uncle is basically the protector of the village. And whenever the shepherd of the village. So if someone gets hurt or goes astray or is stolen away, the village is concerned with taking care of the village, and that person's primary objective is to make sure they find and return that missing person from their village. On the flip side, he's Ice. I called him Ice. On the flip side, you have a gentleman who is from this type of village.
I was there. Are you about to spoil this man's story, bro?
Nope, I'm not at all. He's from this type of village, but chose a more what's the word I'm looking for? Traditional way of living his life, customary to the British people who are currently living in this type of embassy in their country. So instead of staying in the village, so instead of That is actually pretty dope that you said that. So instead of staying in his village, he decides to become a police officer. And at some point during his stint as a police officer, there's like a riot happening outside. And he goes outside and fights hundreds of people to arrest one man who like disrespected the embassy and brings him back in. He becomes like the sergeant saluting officer. And they send him undercover to try to find the guy who's looking for the girl that was stolen from the village. Long story short, not to spoil too much, their paths become a friendship until they figure out.
It might be the greatest friendship I've ever seen anywhere in anything,
Or
everywhere, all at once.
to be honest with you, I started calling one Raisin and one Joel.
Listen, they are so in sync.
Yes.
They don't. When the first time that they meet each other, they don't even use words, and they choreograph the most elegant rescue scene I've ever seen on a bridge
In my life.
I've ever seen.
I was trying to
Anything.
finish your sentence.
This man's on fire today. You've been saving up all your energy for this podcast. It's been about 2 weeks.
Yo, hilarious. But yeah, so they end up becoming great friends while the one shepherd is trying to find the little girl, which is basically at the place where the police officer works at, and while the police officer is trying to find the violator who's trying to potentially get into the embassy, and they become best friends, and then things go awry when they find out who each other is, and then the rest of the movie becomes what it is. It's definitely, for me, a movie that you should watch. I wouldn't even have a problem introducing this movie to somebody and they told me they didn't see it, and I would sit and watch it with them again.
This movie is 3.5 hours long.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel any of it.
Nope.
Like, there was a point in time where I was like, yo, pause it real quick. I got to go get something. And they were like, oh, we're an hour and a half into this movie. And I was like, is it? I was like, this is
I watched an hour and a half and was almost late from my overnight job and was just like, oh, it's only got to be a few minutes left. I was like, there's an hour and a half left? I'm going to watch it at work. But like you said, the 3 hours went by without you even noticing it. I know it sounds crazy, but I mean, after watching Dune, I was done. I was not done after watching this. So just so you know.
This movie was actually in theaters. And I'm so mad that I did not see this movie in theaters.
When?
But that's the thing.
Who did the promotion for this?
That's what I'm saying. Is like this movie like didn't get the type of promotion. We didn't get the trailers or like none of this type of stuff. So like it came out and it came and went. Yeah. And then kind of went straight to Netflix, and like now Netflix gave it the platform that it needed.
Yeah, this joy is fire.
I was saying, I don't know how much more you want to say about this movie.
You go ahead. I'll let you have a turn. This movie
is fantastic. Full price. This movie, if it was in the theaters, I would pay the full price to go see this joint. This is a fantastic thrill ride. This is what I'm trying to explain to you what Fast and the Furious is, because this movie knows what it is, and they don't play it like it's a joke, and they just go with it. Like there's dance numbers, there's singing like scenes, or they're doing ballads in the middle, and it's like you laugh for a second, but you're like, no, this makes sense. This is just what they do. And it's like there's like Bollywood dance offs in the end and stuff like that. And
they're still super respectful to their religion.
Yep.
And they make sure to show customary things that they do in their village. Some of the things that were trying to be instituted from the British takeover that they were fighting against. It was even super dope at the end of the movie where they were giving tributes to a lot of their leaders from their country. Yeah. And it was like it was dope.
They were like, this movie is based off of the lives of some of these real people that are in there and stuff like that.
Right. When they were trying to make homie bow.
Come on, man. I was like, this whole Jesus scene that we're having right now.
Right. That's basically what it was.
I know. I'm telling you, this is what it is. I know for a fact that's 100% what it is.
Definitely what it was. So it was like it was.
My man Wolverine don't quit, bro. Like there's so many like this movie is anime as hell too, because it's like there's so many like leaps in logic.
Of course.
Like at one point in time, like this dude can't walk, and they literally just like rub berries on it, and then all of a sudden like this man can jump.
This joint gave me a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon type feeling.
Yes. Yeah, so that's a solid analogy.
And that's why I was like, because at first when I was watching it, I looked at wifey and she looked at me and she was like, I was like, what? It's kind of like a karate movie. Like you ain't never seen a guy like run across trees and then the tree get cut, so he's running across the falling leaves to stay in the air and then kick somebody in the face. We respect it in Kung Fu. This is the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just coming from a different culture and a different aspect of what people are doing. And it's like, I thought it was dope. I thought it was fire.
These whatchamacallit, whoever those two actors are, I will watch them in whatever they do. Right. Are you kidding me? Like I was like,
I watched like the first few minutes of it. And I was just like, this movie is wild. And Lulu was like, you're still watching this? I was like, it's a good wild.
It's a good wild.
It's gotten entertaining. It's gotten entertaining. Yo, when homie, this is the only thing I was for. But when homie came through the wall and rolled off the towel and cut the animals free,
Oh yeah.
I was like, yo, in a typical movie, some people will bust through the door, mad guns, they shooting and everything. This man's like, nah, lions, tigers, bears. Oh my God.
Hold that.
Take this cheetah, fam.
He literally, a jaguar jumped on his back. He grabbed the jaguar and threw it at another guy. And I was like, let's fucking go.
At one point, the jaguar and the tiger was fighting. And that man redirected him like, nah, fam, we fighting.
He like smacked him in the ring.
He's like, oh, meat. Like, yo, this joint was so crazy.
I think the best thing I can say is this movie's a thrill ride. It's like all the way through. It's like they do an amazing job of like setting up like how important the stakes are in a scene. And then once the scene starts going, like you're like, I didn't see that this is how it was gonna go.
And then I felt like once the cliffhanger came, I'm not gonna ruin it. Yeah. But I feel like everything that happened before the cliffhanger almost made me felt like I watched two different movies. Yes. 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 It was crazy.
You know what that's called? Great writing and great development. Because then it was like
it definitely wasn't lazy. It's 3 hours.
Every time that you think you know what's going on, they introduce something and you're like, oh, that's why he's doing it. And it's just like, yo, it's fantastic. It was fantastic.
It was.
Please watch RRR.
RRR. That's what we call it. It just says RRR. It's like gold, bronze letters.
I think it's one of the 3 trending movies on Netflix right now. So
I mean, it should be number 1 because that joint was definitely better than The Man from Toronto. But yeah, that's all we have for Popcorn Papi. We can get to this Hardwood check-in.
Let's do it.
All right.
Your excuse?
Excuse me. I kind of want to. All right. Do we have to talk about Katie?
Oh, absolutely, because I have some thoughts, bro. Okay. So I want to say this. We haven't.
Start there then. Go ahead.
I just want to say this. We have not been on in a while.
Couple Katie and Kyrie together. Let's couple those together.
You want to do that first? Because like what I was gonna say is
you have a lot to say about Kyrie.
I mean, sure, like they kind of couples them together, but like what I just want to say is like we didn't cover the draft or anything like that because like we haven't been around for that long, so we missed the draft, we missed the start of free agency, so we didn't get to do like a lot of those
summer league,
a lot of those rumors and stuff like that. So like, I don't know if you wanted to like do a snap, like a quick, not even, just keep breezing.
Keep breezing. Let's get.
I would say this: my Pistons killed the draft. Got them boys Jalen Duran and got whatchamacallit and got Jaden Ivey, who was looking amazing, looking like John Moran light in the summer league. I say that.
The Knicks did nothing but make me upset.
I was gonna say, what's going on with your boys though?
They made me upset, but I realized that they have bigger fish to fry. Like we didn't just go and get some random dude in the draft like a Kevin Knox just for the sake of drafting somebody, and they actually
who's apparently a Piston now, by the way.
Yep, and they just made value off of trading picks and getting around in position so they can use that stuff to acquire other pieces, which led to us landing Jalen Brunson, which I was very happy about.
Do you want to get into that first? Talk about your Knicks and Jalen Brunson?
The only thing I would have to say about it is that it's foul that we're getting hit with tampering.
How is that foul? They're clearly tampering with that, brother.
Everybody tampers.
Okay, so everybody should get fined. That don't mean that you don't get fined.
But nobody's getting fined.
Other people have gotten fined for tampering. Yeah.
Name the last team.
The Chicago Bulls with DeMar DeRozan.
Good point. Listen, man.
But it's like it would be like if we all went into the store and started stealing, but like you got caught on the way out. It's just like, you're the loudest one. Everybody gets caught with something.
Yeah, but it's like, fam, I'm trying to feed my family. They're just stealing for fun.
I mean, I think you owe me something because like not only did we take Kemba Walker off your hands, take that contract off, we took the Nerlens Noel contract off, we took the Alec Burks contract off in order to be able to get you guys to get Jalen Brunson
and resign Money Mitch.
Listen,
as long as we don't lose picks, I'm fine with it. I don't know what
you did lose picks, and then you lost Jalen Duran.
Wait, say that again? No, I'm talking about for the tampering.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be a fine, maybe some second round picks.
Yeah, I hope so. I won't say I wasn't big on Jalen. I just hadn't had a chance to really watch him. So I didn't know what that was going to boil down to. But I do know that we did end up with Jalen Brunson, which was dope. I didn't know his dad was associated with the team.
Yes.
And his agent as well.
Yes, bro. This is tampering up that.
Family reunions. Like, you went by this man's crib, you saw Tibbs, his dad, his agent.
There's mad tampering going on.
Rose was outside knocking on the doors like, nah, fam, no racists allowed.
You know, he came over for Sunday dinner. Was like, hey, man, how'd you feel about signing with us, by the way? Because it's like, we're not supposed to do this.
Right.
Well, 4 years, 110? Is that about right?
Right. So that's crazy.
I guess at the end of the day, fit-wise, money-wise, how do you feel about the Jalen Brunson signing?
I like it. I like the fact that we kept Money Mitch. I like the fact that we didn't give up any of our young players to go chasing any free agents, because I know like Bradley Beal was out there. There was a KD rumor, Kyrie rumor, Westbrook rumor.
I guess that's the real question. You got Jalen Brunson. All of a sudden, KD and Kyrie Irving they're out there. Would you have rather have gotten Kyrie Irving over Jalen Brunson, or are you more than okay with the Jalen Brunson?
I'd rather have Jalen Brunson.
Okay.
He's younger, more potential. His ceiling is very high. I'm over getting the last years of somebody's career. I'm over it. And then costing us all our young players. No offense, Melo. I enjoyed having you in New York, but it took a lot to come back from that. So, and there's a potential that we could get Melo back. You know what I mean?
I heard about that.
You know what I mean? Especially considering he wants to retire his jersey, and it can't happen in Denver because somebody's a 2-time MVP and your number. So I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know if Nikolai's going to, if Joker's going to be so respectful to I'll go to 14 so Melo can retire 15. I don't know, man. Overseas dudes is not, you know what I mean? He's not trying to hear that. That's his number. So I think with the adding of Jalen Brunson, re-signing of Mitchell, if we could get a Melo, that would be dope. We do need another wing guy. But they're saying this kid that's coming up from the summer league is supposed to be legit.
Do you know what is going on with Cam Reddish? I have no idea what's going on with that whole situation.
I don't know why he's not getting more time. I don't know why they're not playing.
I know he was hurt last year.
He was hurt.
hurt.
The only thing that I would think of, and that's what I was going to say, is that they just didn't want to risk re-injury or losing him for this season of growth because they tried to force him into something last year.
But is his contract up? I thought that was the whole reason for the trade.
No, because he came in a year after RJ Barrett and them, because they was all at Duke together.
They're in the same draft.
No.
Yeah, man.
Cam stayed another year.
No, he didn't. They all, the Zion, RJ Barrett, and all them went in the same draft, and Cam Reddish was the 11th pick or something like
sure?
that. Yeah, the same draft. I'm a Duke guy, but come on, now.
All right. So then no, because then that would mean that RJ would be in his last year.
He is in his last year. Zion just got the Supermax. And something like that. This is the last year.
He re-signed with New Orleans?
Yeah.
Idiot.
Supermax. Making 28 mil or something like that. Something crazy.
Now you stuck there and ain't nobody. You the new AD.
God, whatchamacallit, but they got Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum. They're doing stuff over there.
They still play in the West?
Yes, they do. Still play
okay. All right. Enjoy. Fab said he was gonna buy you Timbs when you came to the Knicks.
We can leave the Jalen Brunson New York thing alone. You're happy with the move.
I am happy with it.
I do think it was a little bit expensive. I do want to see
what this summer league kid is, because they're saying that he has a very high ceiling, strong potential, and he's killing it. I don't like to get big on summer league stuff because it's summer league. But
how long?
Kevin Knox was killing summer league at one point.
How long until we get the story that Jalen Brunson is leading the Julius Randle renaissance? How long until that comes out, where it's just Julius Randle had such an off year last year because the point guard situation was so that but the steadiness of Jalen Brunson has led to the resurgence of Julius Randle.
I still want to get rid of Pumpkin. I'll send Pumpkin back to LA for Sharif, Scottie Pippen Jr., and Bryant right now. Go ahead and take him. That's why I wore this shirt today, so y'all know that y'all can have Pumpkin back.
He's gonna take that Russell Westbrook. I'm telling you, man. No,
I'm fine with that. We're gonna put him at the 2, and Jalen Brunson can get a bunch of assists and still get buckets.
Who does the Knicks think Jalen Brunson is? Because they were treating him like it was Michael Jordan.
I don't know. I know the Mavericks were hot about it.
Yeah. They were like, "Are you shitting me?"
They were hot about it.
That's why they called him. It was they're tampering. Bro.
Yeah.
They were talking like, this is
Yo, these
crazy.
brothers over here slanging major weight. About to drop a dime on these plays.
They were at the, what you call it?
Drop a
Like,
dime.
his dad and like all those guys were at the Mavericks playoffs games, bro, in the front row. They're like looking real.
His agent was there.
Yeah, his agent, they were all
His dad
there.
was there. I mean, his dad's supposed to be there, though. This is Pops, man. Come on, man.
Alright.
I don't think it's Tamlin, man.
So like,
About to drop a dime on these suckers.
let's go to my man, the Stifle Tower. Rudy Gobert got traded.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh,
now.
did he, huh?
Well, he's saying that.
Top 10 center in the league getting traded away, huh?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Like, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin Durant's one of the 3 or 4 best players. He's about to get traded.
He's
right?
demanding a trade. Rudy didn't demand a trade. They said, get on up out of here, fam.
So top 10 players don't get traded. Jimmy Butler's been traded how many times?
Jimmy Butler asked for every trade.
Nah, I
He
don't think
demanded every trade.
I don't know
This
about
man
that.
showed up to the
Not the
Timberwolves,
Timberwolves. They
gave
got
me
rid
the
of
bombs, smacked everybody, and then
they were like, we need you to get up out of here, man. Get up out of here.
Yo, lightweight
Kyrie-
though, Jimmy's wilding though, because every team that he did leave could have potentially been, he could have been the person that got them over the hump. Because if you look at the Minnesota,
If not for Kawhi Leonard hitting one of the greatest playoff shots we've ever seen in history, that Philadelphia 76ers team would have had a ring. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, and Jimmy Butler would have a ring right now.
Right.
If it wasn't for this wild-ass Kawhi Leonard shot.
yeah, I was gonna say Philly next, but I don't know why he left any of those teams. We'll see what happens.
But Gobert's traded.
Yep.
I think the only player like of note, like there's Patrick Beverly's in there, but it's like Jared Vanderbilt. But the crazy thing is they gave up like 5 first-round picks for him.
I see somebody post something that was like 5 years ago. Patrick Beverly said, "This is my year."
Yeah.
He's been on 5
Jeez.
teams.
And I think he's about to get waived from the Jazz too.
Yeah, the funniest one I seen was somebody took all the clippings from when they won the play-in tournament, and it's like,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna tell
God.
my kids this was the 2022 World Champ.
Because that's how he was crying.
Yeah, he was crying, took the jersey off, threw it in the stands,
Yeah,
just
he was
standing on the
kissing
table
babies.
like
They're like,
D-Wade. Yo.
It was crazy.
Oh man, it's hilarious.
Did the Wolves get better with this trade? So like the Wolves starting lineup now looks like D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Jalen McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert.
I don't like it. And the only reason I say it is not because of any Rudy Gobert not liking him or anything like that. Defensively, he is a great player. I'm worried about how it moves Cat away from the basket.
Have you seen Cat around the basket?
No, what I'm saying is just like, but like he has the opportunity to operate because we know that Anthony Edwards will knock down the three, or he's a slasher, take his man off the dribble. So if Cat wants to work inside out or outside in, he has the availability to do so. With Rudy Gobert on the court, it kind of stifles some of that.
Stifle Tower.
Yeah, so I would hate for him to just start shooting a bunch of threes and then all his numbers dip and his rebounds go away and they're not really winning games because he has to become a different player to make room for Rudy.
What if I were to give you an example of like what the type of team that this could look like?
Okay.
Dirk Nowitzki, Tyson Chandler. The 2011 Dallas Mavericks.
I think the only thing that's different is Tyson Chandler wasn't trash
Okay.
offensively. I'll correct that.
You think that Tyson Chandler is that much better than Rudy Gobert is offensively?
If you told me to choose between the two offensively, yes, I'm going with Tyson.
You just don't like Rudy. Just say you don't like Rudy Gobert. That's all there is to it. Like,
I say that.
yeah,
I
but
say
it's a, that doesn't mean that one thing.
Plus,
is,
Tyson Chandler
but it's
was a
not
Knick.
fact.
Tyson Chandler was a Knick, fam, and he got a ring, fam, and he was.
If they trade a pumpkin right now for Rudy Gobert, would you be upset?
No, because
Look, that's what I'm saying. That's like,
pumpkin up out of there.
but
And,
like,
and Tyson Chandler had one of the most epic moments ever, man. I can't remember who they was playing against, but somebody was crossing up, lost their shoe, and then somebody tried to throw the shoe, and he smacked
smacked
it
the
away.
shoe.
He came running down the court. I was like, yes.
I hate the trade. I like the fit.
Okay,
Because
explain.
to me, the picks were insane. That's an insane amount of picks to trade for Rudy Gobert.
It was like, what was it, 4?
It was like 5 first round picks. You know, like I think there was.
I thought you weren't allowed to do that anymore.
No, it's like because they work
You
it away.
can't trade consecutive picks. I
Yeah,
thought.
you do like every other year, and it's like you can only do up to 5 years. So it's like you trade the 3 picks, and then the other picks just are pick swaps. That's like how they do it. So like if my team is worse than your team, like we just swap picks that year.
Sound like it's still consecutive picks.
But like you still have a pick because like, all you're doing is swapping that year. It's what you call it. It's tomfoolery, but it's the rules.
Travis Shane mockery.
But that's the rules. Damn, what the hell was I about to say? I didn't like the trade in itself, but I was like, I think that Rudy Gobert at the center could open up a lot of things because I think what they want to do is they want to give someone who can screen and roll with these guys, someone that people will actually be afraid that's rolling to the basket. Because like Jared Vanderbilt's not giving you that. Like these other guys like aren't giving you that, and it also does show me that like they are in some sort of like we're trying to win right now, and I think that means a lot to someone like Anthony Edwards, where it's just like I'm surprised D'Angelo Russell's still on this roster. I thought for sure he was going to be gone.
That's your screen and roll guy though. I don't know if it's Anthony Edwards. I think it's Russell.
I think whoever Rudy Gobert setting these picks for, like that's what he's
Russell,
here for.
because Russell gets to the mid range, and if everybody converges on him, he kicks out to Anthony Edwards. He dunks it on somebody slashing or hits a jumper. Cat can pop to the corner, maybe drive baseline. I can see how that would work.
I think it's kind of like the Anthony Davis thing, where Anthony Davis hated playing center.
Right.
And it's like, you know, you got to bang with these centers. But it's like now Karl Anthony Towns can take advantage of, like, you want to play these small ball fours? Go ahead and play these small ball fours. Because it's like, now I'm going to take it into the paint on these guys. And then if I'm out here, I can, I can hit these threes or like whatever I'm trying to hit, stuff like that. I think they're going to be fine. I still don't think it makes them a top 5 team in the West.
No.
And like to me, that's a crazy thing to trade 5 picks for. And it's like, especially when the next day after you do the trade, that's when KD and Kyrie decide that they want to be out of here type of deal. It was like it was weird timing. So if you want, we can morph into this conversation.
KD's not going anywhere.
You don't think he's going anywhere, period?
No. He only wants to go to the Suns. And the Suns are not going to give up anything that they're asking for. So they're either going to trade him somewhere where KD's going to say, I ain't going to play for them. So he's gonna end up sitting the bench for the Nets. What is he gonna do? I don't think he moves.
I don't think he moves because like I don't think there's any move that makes sense for him. I want to say this. Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are 2 of the most sucker players that have ever been inside this league that I've ever seen before. I don't understand how they're anybody's favorite player because like all they do is complain, they moan about like not being able to win when it's like they're the guys who are supposed to get them to the place to win. And it's like and then they were throwing so much shade at like LeBron James for like the things that he does and like all this other stuff like that. But your guys are taking the more sucker road every time. Anytime anything difficult happens in front of you, you guys go, well, get me out of here and send me to where I want to get to. And when I get there, I want to play with these players. And it's like, when is someone just going to be like, no? Like, you signed this contract. You guys can't go anywhere. Like, if I'm the GM of the Nets and he comes to me and he's like, yeah, I want to go to the Suns and I want to go here, I'd be like, yeah, real fucking nice. Have fun in Sacramento, you bum ass. What the hell are you talking about? Like, you could want to go wherever you want to go. I'm going to send you where the package is, bro. Yeah. And you're going there. And guess what? Like, have fun throwing lobs with was it Keegan Murray from the Sacramento Kings or De'Aaron Fox? Because that's where you're going.
So if you're the Nets and you could care less about where KD wants to go, who do you trade him to?
I wasn't prepared for this one.
Just take a guess.
What do you mean? Who I trade him to piss him off?
And to get value for your pick.
That would actually trade me that. That's the thing is like GMs are just smarter now. So like a lot of people know. Like, look at the Anthony Edwards, for example. It's like Anthony Edwards is a very young player. Luka is another one. They're very young players and they're very good. People aren't as stupid as they used to be. Like, we're not giving up these 2 guys. We've actually already started to build around these guys, and you don't make sense messing up this stuff that we got going for them. Right. Even someone like Trae Young, like a lot of people have been saying like Atlanta's a place that KD could go. And it's like, that sounds cool and all, but it's like, why would I mess up like a lot of the other stuff we got going on to bring KD in here when all he's going to do is take shots away from Trae Young? Right. I did do a quick 3 teams that I was like, I can see them going to.
I kind of figured you did.
I got 3 of them. Okay. And I'm going to go in the order of what I like the least to the most. Okay. Golden State Warriors. They obviously have the pieces to acquire Kevin Durant. They can do Jordan Poole.
They better hurry up because they're losing a lot of these pieces.
They can do Jordan Poole, Kuminga, Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, and like 2 or 3 first-round picks. Nope. If you're the Nets, you're saying no?
If I'm the Warriors, I'm not doing it.
If you're the Nets and I offered it to you, are you saying no for KD?
No, I'm not saying no. I'm saying yes.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Is like that can be done. We're giving you a whole starting lineup, and we're really just plugging Kevin Durant back into this team again. And like we already got Looney, Curry, Draymond, and Clay for the next, I think, 4 years for all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's my least favorite one. Now we start getting interesting. Number 2, Memphis. Memphis tells you, listen, we have Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., Brandon Clark, another backup point guard. I think they just got Matisse Thybulle, but like another backup guard, 3 first-round picks for Kevin Durant, who says no.
I'm taking it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it makes sense. And then now you got KD and John Morant on the same squad, and like they're in like the same division as Golden State, so he can kind of just take his anger out on them all the time as he wants to. He plays in the same conference as LeBron, so they can't say he's running from LeBron no more, like doing other stuff like that. My favorite one.
I want to see if you're going to say the team I'm thinking.
No, this is my favorite one. And this is only my favorite one is like, only if I was a Nets GM, I'd be like, I'm going to do this for your best interest, Kevin. Kevin, the young boy from the DMV. I'm going to send you to your hometown, Washington Wizards, who just had Bradley Beal sign the Supermax deal. He is now the highest paid, he is the highest paid player in the NBA aside from Steph Curry right now. And if I told you here's
Rumble, young man Rumble.
Here's Danny Avdija, Rui Hashimura, Kyle Kuzma, Thomas Bryant. No, Thomas Bryant just signed with the whatchamacallit.
The Lakers.
Yep, the Lakers. And they just got a point guard too. We'll give you Will Barton, 3 first-round picks for Kevin Durant.
No.
Why not?
It's Kevin Durant. It's not enough. You said Will Barton and 3 first-round picks?
I said a mad players in there. Rui Hashimura.
Oh, okay.
Kyle Kuzma.
Okay.
Danny Avdija. Will Barton, or I think they got they just got rid of Ish Smith. Monty Morris. So either Monty Morris or Will Barton, your pick, 4 first-round picks.
I'll take it.
You get your Kuzma, you get all these guys, or whatever. You get a whole bunch of young places. You get your cap space, you get your picks, and now it's Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal. What are you going to do with this?
So I thought you were going to say the one team that I wouldn't want to see him go to, but it makes sense. The Celtics.
I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah. Give up Marcus Smart. Gonna have to give up Time Lord. Maybe give up Williams. Like 2 or 3 first-round draft picks.
I would not take that if I was the Nets. You'd have to Jalen Brown has to be the starting point in whatever we're talking about.
No, I think they can get away with Marcus Smart and Time Lord.
For Kevin Durant?
Yeah, you're adding a couple other players in there and a bunch of first-round picks, but I think it will work.
I don't even think money-wise it works. So I just they just got Brogdon, which was an amazing trade.
Nah, but Marcus Smart has a decent contract.
It's like 13, 14 million. Kevin Durant makes like 35. I think both of them together would be like 25 mil. So you need like another 10 mil. Grant doesn't make nowhere near that.
Yeah, you got to throw him and White in there. That's what I said.
White makes like 5 mil.
Getting close. I used to hate trying to make those trades in 2K.
Paying Pritchard or something like that.
Yeah, I used to hate trying to make it. Then you mess around, throw them in there, like, oh, you got too much now. Like, just do it for me. Just do it for me.
If I'm the Nets, I say no to that.
Okay. If you're the Celtics.
And we keep Jalen Brown?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'd do it. Like, yeah, to me, like, these are like, they're not C-level players. They're like B-level players. And it's like, give you these 2 B-level players for like this A+. It's like, yeah, that's not nothing. These draft picks don't mean jack squat either.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? But it's just like, I just don't think that the Nets would take it. I thought you were going to go with the Detroit thing because like a lot of people have been saying the Kevin Durant to Detroit, and I don't want him to
My main thing is I don't think he's going nowhere. But
I don't think he's going nowhere because he doesn't have any options to go anywhere.
If he does, he ends up on the West, and he ends up on the team he doesn't want to be on.
The more interesting person is bum-ass Kyrie Irving. Okay. And it's like, I feel like I've been telling everybody about Kyrie Irving forever.
I'm a fan. How do you like Rudy but don't like Kyrie?
Rudy plays his games. How about that? Again, like Kyrie Irving's played like 40 games in the past 3 seasons. Like Rudy Gobert's been to the playoffs and all this.
Because of COVID.
All right. No, he was hurt in one of those 2.
Right.
But like what I'm saying is like, how much do people need to cater to you, bro? Why does he need to be catered to so much? Like you came to this team. You and Kevin came together. Hey, we're going to be here. We want to be here. Then you get here.
I don't know why y'all believe that.
You get here. you don't want to play in some of these games. We try to work a bunch of things around you so that way it's okay. We traded away James Harden, who didn't want to be here. We got James Harden first of all because you guys wanted James Harden here. He didn't want to be here. We traded him away. We got some pieces. We got some stuff. We get a whole bunch of things that you guys want us to do. Now that you look at the landscape and you don't like the way things look, now you want to bounce? Like, what are you talking about? And then you want to resign, and we're like, hey, we want to resign you. We just don't want to resign you for that long because like we want to make sure that like you're good. And you're just like, I feel like you're disrespecting me now. Like now I don't want to be here. And I'm taking Kevin with me. And we're going over here. It's like, what are you talking about? And then he realized that nobody else really wanted him except for LA. And then he's like, yo, like, actually, I'm going to re-up. And it's like, no, now we don't want this money. Like, we don't want you, bro. Like, yo. And then it's like, you've attached yourself to this Kevin Durant thing. And it's like, oh, my God, we didn't pick you, boy. We picked your mans. We picked your mans. Get out of here, yo. Yo.
Say it again.
Yo, we picked your mans, yo. Not you. Go.
Yo, that is hilarious.
Bing bong, get up out of here.
Not the bing bong. Not the bing bong. Yo, that is hilarious, man. That is hilarious.
If he goes to LA, which it sounds like it's really close to happening. Apparently, he was at a summer league game yesterday or the day before, and somebody was like, "Yo, when are you going to LA?" He's like, "Sooner than you think," or something like that. Apparently, this thing is in the works. I don't know why they're taking Russell Westbrook back for him. I know it's an expiring contract, so on and so forth. Obviously, it makes the Lakers better. I just don't understand why the Lakers would really want him. Like, granted, like you are a better shooter. You are a better basketball player than
him, Brian, AD though.
Yes, I think he's better. I think he makes the team better on paper, ability-wise.
I think they end up in the Western Conference Finals.
I think if they were all healthy in the first place, they would have ended up in the Western Conference Finals.
Hey, I'm not talking about all the what ifs. I'm talking about what will actually happen.
That is a what if. It is a what if.
If Kyrie no, I'm not saying it's a what if. If Kyrie goes to the Lakers, they are going to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
They are. I think him being on the court alone is going to help people stay healthy. Like when you LeBron and AD and you out here like, I just cleaned this place up. Could you please keep it clean?
He's so rough on my things.
Yeah, right. It's just like that is going to be strenuous. Like you ever clean up the crib and then it get messy again, and then you walk around and step on a Lego or kick the edge of the couch. You frustrated because nobody's helping. But like with the help, it seems a lot easier to maintain. So there's no more stubbing of the foot or stepping on Legos. Like it gives AD a chance to not overextend himself and stay healthy. Or LeBron's not burning himself out. He doesn't have to take those rest games or whatever it is he be doing. You know what I mean? It just makes it a little easier to ball. That way when you do get to the playoffs, you're running through teams. Because like who really in the West, other than the Warriors, is going to give them fits?
Denver? Like,
okay, I'll give you that.
Okay. Dallas, the new re-up Dallas right now for the most part.
I gotta see it.
So you tell me the Dinwiddie, Tim Hardaway, Christian Wood, Luka Doncic, JaVale McGee, that's not doing nothing for you?
I gotta see it.
The brothers went to the Western Conference Finals.
They know the formula now, though.
Yeah.
Let Luka get 40 and don't let nobody else get 10 or 12.
Yeah, but like they were also doing that with like Dorian Finney-Smith being like their third leading scorer. It's like now Tim Hardaway's back. Yeah. Now Christian Wood is there. Yeah. Now JaVale McGee. Like these are like legit players.
I get it. You know me, I'm big on Tim Hardaway Jr. I still have to see it. It is a dangerous roster.
They're big and they're bigger now.
It is a dangerous roster, but if they find out that they found the solution to how to play against Luka, then that changes the way the team looks.
Fair enough.
Because like, who's really the solid number two?
Memphis.
No.
Why not? No.
Why not? No.
Why not? No.
You mean why no?
Yeah.
I like John Morant, but it's just like
Clippers.
They did just get John Wall. I still have to see it though, because they are so injury prone. You don't know what to expect from Kawhi. You talk about Kyrie. Kawhi is the same type of person.
I'm going to talk about how I feel about Kawhi Leonard.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. It's the same thing, right?
He's a sucker too. He's just a different type of sucker.
Right. So it's like I got to see if they can actually work together. Paul George has been a shell of himself. So like it looks good on paper, but I got to see it. I would believe in Memphis more than I believe in the Clippers.
If you were the Nets and they offered you a package that had centered around Paul George and a bunch of picks and a bunch of random players that are in there for Kevin Durant, would you take it?
Heck no. Heck no.
I feel like I just had to ask. I feel like I had
And
that.
then mess around, trip and break his body on the way in the door. Like, hey guys, I'm happy to.
That's the last bones of paper skin.
Hey Ben, can I borrow that bright jacket so I can sit on the bench where you was at? Like, yo, Ben Simmons got to be kicking himself right now, man. This brother's an idiot, man.
He said something like a couple of days before the free agency started. He was like, "It's gonna be scary," and then the brothers were cussing James. Yeah, it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary. Quiet in this
And that
locker.
man deleted all his social media.
Yeah, as he should have.
Yeah. So
I wonder if that's what it is. Maybe they both like went into practice when they saw Ben Simmons. It was just like, I don't think this is it for us. I don't think Ben Simmons is that bad.
Yeah,
So.
he and Antonio Brown, Derek Carter.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I'm about to go freeze my hands and toes right quick to get him out of here.
Those cryogenic freezers or whatever.
Like, hey man, you need these mittens. No, I don't. So
The thing, it's so annoying that, first of all, the NBA, like, you want to talk about, like, the finals just ended. We had the draft, free agency, and now we're in the summer league. It's like, this joint does not stop moving. There's always something to talk about with basketball.
Right.
And it makes it so entertaining. I just hate that now, like, everything is kind of on hold until we can find out where Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are going, if they're going anywhere at all.
Right.
And, like, I also don't get this Phoenix hate of DeAndre Ayton stuff, because, like, apparently, like,
He's soft.
okay, like, who cares? Like, what are you talking? Like,
Soft.
who's hard body?
Doesn't show up when. All right, I won't say he's soft. He's not showing up when they need him to. He's not showing up when they need him to.
Okay, he's not a number one, and he never was a
I'm
number
not
one.
saying, but at least be a solid 3.
He is a solid 3. They were the number one seed in the entire league because he was a solid number 3.
And then what happened? That man
Devin
was
Booker got
That
hurt.
man was letting guards grab rebounds while
Devin
they
Booker
while
got
they was
hurt.
sitting
Chris
on
Paul
his
got hurt.
neck.
And people stopped scoring.
All right, then do something, fam.
He's
Do
a number 3. He's
something.
like, yo.
Please hold the door closed while everybody's fighting to get in, at least until I get over there to get the door with you. Don't just be standing by the door like, man, I did the best I could with a toothpick in your mouth while people walking right in. Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Okay. What I'm saying is, like,
Don't make me go full
this
Rudy
DeAndre
Gobert.
Ayton, Mikal Bridges, and a bunch of picks for Kevin Durant, like, and then you got to throw in like your Cam Johnsons or whoever you're gonna do to get the money to work,
Oh,
like all this other type of stuff. It's like at the end of the day, you trade all that stuff, then you're doing.
I'm not giving all that.
You're
up
doing
for
Chris
KD.
Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and like Bismack Biyombo.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not
this is your
giving that
team.
up. I'm not giving that up for KD. Excuse me. I'm not giving that up for KD.
So like, who does KD think he's gonna play with? Like, where does he
I
really think
told
he's
you he's
going?
not going to go nowhere unless they disgruntledly just trade him somewhere to make him upset for the team that will give them the most pieces. But if you're asking me, he's not going to go anywhere.
To me, the blueprint is like the way that Philly was handling the Ben Simmons thing. It's like, okay, bro, you want to sit there. We're gonna eat your money back, and then
Right.
stuff like that. And then, like, lo and behold, James Harden came up.
Right.
Hell yeah, get the hell up out of here for James
Right.
Harden.
Right.
Did you see the James Harden Sam Cassell video?
No.
I'm gonna send it to you, but it's like Sam Cassell is trying to teach James Harden like this drill, and James Harden is like not getting it. And Sam Cassell was like, "Oh, you stupid motherfucker! Tell me that." Like he's like, "Yo, like the whole point of the drill is like you have 7 points,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's like, you're gonna go to this point, and then he's like, when you score, he's like, if you make it, you now have 6 points.
Mm.
He's like, but if you miss, you have to grab the rebound, make your layup, and then like now you went from 7 to 8, and you have to try to get those 8 points now." But like
okay.
James Harden's like, but if I made the layup, like how come that don't count as a point? He's like, because you missed, motherfucker.
Right,
like that.
right.
Yeah, but it was just mad
The
funny
layup is
because
to keep you
like
in.
Sam Cassell was so like just like because you missed, bro. You have to make the layup.
Right, to keep yourself in. Oh,
But,
my goodness.
Are we done with basketball?
We are. You want to mosey on the home cooking?
Let's go. I'm coming home again. Do you think about me now and then? Do you think about me now and then? Cause I'm coming home again. It's time for some home cooking. We be nasty and no reason.
So, as much as I said it, as much as I tried to prep people for it, people are not listening, man. We ain't even midway through the summer,
Oh yeah.
and babies is getting, I mean, ain't nobody getting bust down, but these ghost guns is everywhere, fam. Like, I'm talking about not just grown men, kids are getting bagged. Like young kids, like as young as 12 are getting caught with these unregistered, unmonitored, illegally put together guns. And it's scary because there are probably still people out there who are not getting caught. And I'm just wondering, like, where the access is coming from, why it's happening. And like, what does it make? Like, what mid to the late summer looks like once you realize that a bunch of people have guns in their hands. Some guy got bagged in his crib the other day with 100 already manufactured guns.
Oof.
And then had enough parts to make another 100 guns.
Damn.
And this wasn't like somewhere close to home. This was in home. Like on I forget how you pronounce it, like Adeline Street or something. But it's in Springfield.
Okay.
It's in Springfield. Caucasian male. Recently, like, he's a felon.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure he's gonna go away. But he's like a 38-year-old white male who made a bunch of ghost guns.
Crazy.
And the hands that they're gonna end up in. And I'm not saying that it's happening because he's white and the neighborhood is black, but it's just like what's going on? Like, I have my theories of just like this could be a lot of people who used to work for Smith & Wesson that has now recently been outsourced, and they're like, well, you taught me how to make these guns, I'm gonna make them. But still, it's just like, how do people get these parts? Like, am I just going on Amazon? My bad. Am I just going on Amazon and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna order 10 grips. And then I'm gonna order 20 hammers, and then I'm gonna order 10 top pieces, and then I'm gonna get the clips separately, and it's all gonna just come to my front door, and I'm just gonna be it. Like why are we not monitoring where all these parts and pieces are going to? Like, and then we're gonna get all the apologies of why this shouldn't happen and why that shouldn't happen, and I'm sorry that you lost your son or lost your daughter or lost your family member. Like, I get it, they're cracking down and they're catching it, but like, what's the process of doing it before this gets to people's doorsteps to be in a basement manufacturing guns?
When are we going to be proactive instead of reactive?
Right. It's not just handguns too. Like, in the news, like, he had handguns, ARs, assault rifles. Like, that's an AR, I'm sure of it. But
Sorry,
like,
I was gonna let you.
Yeah,
you
but
was cooking.
it's just like it just doesn't make sense to me, and it makes for me to be a father and a husband just very fearful of like who I could be standing next to in a grocery store or the Dollar Tree or just going to the gas station.
Got hammers at the Dollar Tree.
Right. You never know, like, or the person that I just let go by me at the light or something like that is literally going to his crib with a bunch of gun parts in his trunk to make a bunch of weapons. Like, we got to do better. I'm gonna leave that at that. That is coupled with some shooting sadness. I don't know if you know, but there's a kid named Jalen Walker. Was pulled over by police. I guess it was like a chase. They saw a gunfire go off in his car, so they assumed that he was firing at the police. Either way, like, he pulls over, he hops out of the car and starts running from police, where they proceed to shoot their weapons 90 times, and he got shot 60 of those 90 times.
Oh my God.
And the gun that they were concerned about was on the seat of the car that he had hopped out of. So, like, why 5, 6, 7 police officers are chasing him, if just one of them stops and looks in the car, they can say, hey, he's probably unarmed because their gun is in the car. But they're saying that he turned and it looked like he was reaching for his waistband and it looked like he was raising his hand. They said they had already tried to stun him. So all these cops emptied a clip into this boy. It's a terrible situation, especially considering that there was another mass shooting.
Yeah.
4th of July in Illinois. I want.
Yeah, I can't remember what part it was, but it was a parade.
Yes, where I believe 6 people were killed. And the gentleman that did it was apprehended with not even a bruise. I'm not gonna say his name because it's not worth it. But I feel like we're constantly in this situation where people are making poor decisions, and the scale of how we're treating human beings is not equal, and it's sad to see. And I don't know how much we have to keep having this conversation.
Yeah,
But I just feel like we have a right, or not a right, like a duty to keep saying so. Because as soon as you stop talking about it, all you're going to do is go silent on the fact that it's still happening. So it has to continue to be talked about, but it just freaking sucks that this is where we keep ending up at. The last thing that I have on home cooking, I know none of this stuff is locally, but still, I think it's something that we need to bring awareness to. I don't know if you know what happened in Uganda recently.
I don't.
So Uganda found a gold deposit in Africa that has, I want to say, roughly 320 tons of gold in it.
Okay.
That's worth $12.8 trillion.
Okay.
meaning that they have literally become like one of the wealthiest countries overnight. I think this is maybe about a week into the process of them finding the gold and like starting to get it out of the ground and everything or whatever it is. But through that, what I have heard is that America has cut off the shipping of their raw materials in and out of Africa because, they want to get their hands on this gold. So for me, the only reason I added it to home cooking is so people take the time to go and do their research, find out what's going on so that they are aware. That way, no one's surprised when you look on the news and be like, oh, Africa is declaring war on the United States, so we got to go and fight.
No, you don't understand. Is that Uganda has weapons of mass destruction.
That's what it is. That's what it is. They have a prisoner of war. We haven't got Brittany Griner back, but we're going to go get this prisoner and make sure that we come back with this gold as well.
I don't want to make jokes about the situation, but on Twitter, somebody was like really upset, and they were just like, after the Brittany Griner situation, and they were like, I feel like this wouldn't be an issue if it was LeBron James.
I saw that, and I was mad when I saw it.
And the comments underneath of people being like, oh, if LeBron James was over there, and he had like pictures of like Optimus Prime like cutting through the Decepticons, like me trying to get Bron back, like that. Like, first of all, it was a wild comment for the main person to say like in the first place, but then it's like, Twitter going Twitter.
Right. I don't like when people take a bad situation and attach an agenda to it to make it more than it's already bad. So why make this a male versus female thing? Like, you don't have to do that. A person that is American is being held captive, and we haven't gotten her back yet. So this is not about LeBron or Brittany thing. It's getting someone back that shouldn't be there. Did she make a mistake? Yeah, she pled guilty to it. She pled guilty to having the drugs, but she didn't plead guilty to the intent on which she had the drugs. So it's just like, I think all of this is whack, and it's I think it's corny. I hate, but I won't say I hate. I strongly disagree when people do that. It's just like, recently I've been getting my degree, and like when you see shootings, like we'll say the Jalen Walker situation, and like if that gets brought up in class, and then someone goes like, yeah, because in my community I'm this, that, and the third, and I hate the way up. Like, that's not oppression, fam. I'm not gonna attach it to nobody because I don't want nobody saying, oh, why'd you use that as a subject? But people try to relate their personal situation to something that's been happening and that's been a catastrophe on U.S. soil, and you're just using it to attach it to an agenda that you feel strongly about in your life when there is really no connection. Yeah. So it's just
apples oranges.
Right. So like they both taste delicious, but it's not the same thing. So it's just like, why are we doing that? So yeah, I urge people to do your research on Uganda. Make sure that you're spreading the word, because the more people that know about it, the less likely, hopefully, the less likely it is for people to try to take advantage of this situation that could potentially change a country. Like, they already took advantage of the diamond trade, and they don't have to do it with the gold as well.
Okay.
All right. And last but not least, we have the Blitz. It's been a while since we heard Luda.
Man, get out my way. Watch out as I come through. Busting in your line, cracking numbers in two. When I bring that pain, now what you gonna do? And lace up your cleats and get shook out your shoes. Clean out your locker. I'm out to get you.
All right. Baker Mayfield's a Panther.
All right. I'm gonna see y'all next week. Who gives a damn?
Yo, nobody.
They are playing the Browns like week 1, I think, too.
I don't care. I do not care.
Do you actually have any thoughts on this, or is this just something that you wanted to say?
I don't care about it at all.
Do you have a cultural gem?
I do have something important in football, though, and it does relate to the Raiders. But
all right, good. I already know what you're going to talk about, but
Sandra Douglas Morgan was hired as a new president of operations, I believe.
First team president
for the Oakland Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders. I'm sorry, it's going to always be forever. But she's also, not only is she female, she's black. So first time in history.
Yep.
I think it's good and bad. I think it's great because it's an opportunity. I think it's bad because they're trying to say, hey, you got less black coaches, but we gave you a black president. So
I didn't realize how many females that there were in power positions in NFL. There's like quite a few.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So like I was just like, yo, bravo. And then I was like, yo, women of color as well. Like, get them out there as much as possible.
Right. So yeah, I thought it was pretty dope. So my cultural gem. So we get up out of here. I know we're running a little long.
Yeah, but you know, say 5 o'clock. I told you that. You know.
None other than the Great Debaters.
Never seen it.
Are you serious?
I mean, for real. I've seen a lot of clips from the Great Debaters. I've never seen it. That's got our girl Juicy Smollett, right? Journey Smollett.
Yes. You
I mean, deadass. I've never seen this movie.
You know they lynched Negroes in Texas.
Yeah.
You got to see this movie, fam.
I know, because like Denzel Washington's like I've seen some speeches from it, and he gives like something amazing, like where he talks about like Aaron Lynch used to come, and like you know stuff like that. But go ahead, proceed.
Yep. It's from 2007.
Mm-hmm.
It has Denzel Washington, Denzel Whitaker, Forrest Whitaker, Journey Smollett, Nate Parker, Kimberly Elise, Jermaine Williams, who played Pork Chop in Stomp the Yard.
Okay.
Gina Rivers, John Hurd. You could go on and on. It's a star-studded cast. Basically, what it is it's definitely in times of segregation. Denzel Washington is a teacher and an educator, and what he's doing is he's taking 3 black students, one being Journey, Whitaker, and the other young man, and he's teaching them how to debate. He makes them a debate team, and they debate against other teams of their peers, clearly Caucasian, and it teaches them not only how to navigate through racism and how people see them, not only when you carry yourself intellectually and intelligently, but also how they're always going to look at you regardless of how your presentation is. And through that, not only do they have struggles against the opposite race, they end up having like squabbles in between themselves on how to like own who they are as people and becoming a team, and not only believing that they can do this, but not letting the intentions and the beliefs of other people who think of them less be attached to them to where they do things that people expect them to do, I guess. The best way to put it. Very strong movie.
Where can we find this movie?
Oh, it's not. I'm tripping. I know it's been a long time.
Well, like I said, like I've seen like a bunch of clips from it, and I was like, it's always one of those ones where I was like, damn, I really gotta watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, did I see all the best parts of this movie from these speeches? But it's like, I doubt it. But,
it's on YouTube for free.
Okay.
It's on Tubi for free. It's on Amazon Prime for free. And it's on your boy's Voodoo.
That Voodoo Dag, baby. Voodoo Dag, baby.
Listen, we got to reach out to them, man. We got to get some sponsorship. They playing. But yeah.
You said it's on YouTube?
Yeah.
For free.
That's what it said.
The leaders, not the trailer. Let me see. Trailer.
Boom.
Free with ads.
Wow. Put it in your watch later.
I'm about to save it.
Put it in your watch later.
All right. What the hell?
Mm-hmm. Little bugger. Mm-hmm.
No. All right. Well, I mean, you got that stuff out the way. Did you have a Raisinette?
I did not have a Raisinette because I know we ran long and I know we weren't doing heavyweight lovers.
Which you got for us next time.
I got for us next time, definitely. But we ain't gonna keep you too long because we know we've already been at it.
So this is episode 55. This 55. Is the who we got for 55? Eric Williams.
Jeez.
There's got to be a linebacker. There's got to be a linebacker.
It's gotta be.
It's not P. Willie. P. Willie's 52, right?
Right.
Timmons? Lawrence Timmons?
I could deal with that.
Lawrence Timmons?
I could deal with that.
What about old boy that used to be on the Steelers as well, or Ryan Shazier? What was he, 50?
He was 50. And he was an Ohio State Buckeye. That would have been dope.
It would have been.
Yeah.
There's got to be. What is Ray Lewis? There's Ray Lewis 52.
Yeah, of course.
Lance Briggs?
Was he 55?
I believe so.
Shady gave him that work.
Gave him that work.
Shout out to Shady. All right, we out of here, man. Y'all have a good night.
Episode 56 next time. Get ready. We're gonna talk about that McDonald's gate. We're gonna talk about that.